In this video, we're breaking down 2 hours of Dragon Ball secrets. Let's get started. First up, we got Saiyan name origins. Saiyan name origins. Akira Toriyama loved using food names for his characters in Dragon Ball. The Saiyans follow a specific pattern where every single character from this warrior race has a name based on a vegetable. This naming system was confirmed by Toriyama himself in multiple interviews, and he admitted it started as a practical solution rather than a grand creative vision. In an interview published in the TV anime guide Dragon Ball Tenkaichi Densetsu back in 2004, Toriyama explained his thinking. He said he decided on these names without much thought, and looking back, he found it embarrassing. But he had a good reason. With so many characters in Dragon Ball, keeping track of everyone would become a major problem without some kind of system. Creating a theme made the whole process easier. So he picked vegetables for the Saiyans, and that decision shaped the entire race. The name Saiyan itself hides the vegetable theme in plain sight. In Japanese, the race is called Saiyajin, where jin means person. The word saya comes from rearranging the syllables of yasai, which is the Japanese word for vegetable. So Saiyajin literally translates to vegetable people. Takao Koyama, who worked with Toriyama, mentioned in an interview that many people still don't realize this wordplay exists. When he tells fans that saya is just yasai backwards, they get amazed. Toriyama himself laughed about it, saying he felt embarrassed giving them such an obvious name because it was just reversing the syllables. This naming pattern applies to every pure-blooded Saiyan in the series. Goku's real Saiyan name is Kakarot, which comes from carrot. The name works because if you say Kakarot out loud in Japanese, it sounds similar to carrot with a Japanese accent. This makes sense for Goku's character since he's known for his massive appetite throughout the series, and carrots are a basic vegetable. Vegeta, the proud prince of all Saiyans, takes his name from the first 6 letters of the word vegetable. His father was King Vegeta, and their home planet was also called Planet Vegeta. So the entire royal family and their world all share names derived directly from the word vegetable itself. Toriyama added another layer to this joke by having Vegeta's brother named Tarble. When you put the two names together, Vegeta and Tarble, you get vegetable. This wasn't revealed until later in the series, showing that Toriyama kept adding to these naming puns over the years. Raditz, Goku's brother who appears early in Dragon Ball Z, has a name based on radish. The Japanese spelling is Raditsu, which connects directly to the vegetable. Raditz arrives on Earth looking for Kakarot, and their family connection extends to their vegetable-themed names. Nappa, Vegeta's partner and bodyguard, gets his name from Nappa, which refers to Chinese cabbage or leafy greens in general. In Japanese, Nappa is a term used for various types of cabbage and vegetable greens. The character fits this name with his bald head and brutish personality, creating an interesting contrast between the delicate vegetable and the rough warrior. Bardock, Goku's father, has a name that comes from burdock, which is a root vegetable. Burdock is called gobu in Japanese, but Toriyama used the English word for the character's name. The spelling in Japanese is badaku, which represents the English pronunciation of burdock. In some translations, the character's name appears as Burdock to make the pun more obvious, but most versions keep it as Bardock. Toriyama himself noted that the name sounds strong, which fits perfectly for Goku's warrior father. Broly, one of the most popular Saiyan characters, takes his name from broccoli. The Japanese spelling Burori clearly shows the connection to this green vegetable. His father Paragus has a name based on asparagus. In Japanese, it's spelled paragasu, which represents the last part of the word asparagus. The English dub kept the spelling similar to asparagus to maintain the vegetable pun. The members of Bardock's elite squad all follow the vegetable theme. Tora comes from tomato. His name is a shortened version of the vegetable. Fasha's original Japanese name was Serapa, which is an anagram of parsley, with the letters rearranged. Borgos was originally called Totepo in Japanese, which comes from potato. Shugesh's Japanese name was Panbuken, derived from pumpkin. These characters only appeared in the Bardock special, but Toriyama made sure they followed the same naming pattern. Janae, Goku's mother, who appears in Dragon Ball Minus and Dragon Ball Super, Broly, has a name that's an anagram of negi, which means spring onion in Japanese. This continues the family tradition of vegetable names connecting Bardock, Jine, Kakarot, and Raditz. Turles, the villain from the Tree of Might movie, gets his name from lettuce. The Japanese name Tarasu comes from rearranging the syllables in ritasu, which is the Japanese word for lettuce. This character looks identical to Goku but serves as an evil version, and even his name follows the proper Saiyan vegetable pattern. When Dragon Ball Super introduced Universe 6, the Saiyans from that parallel universe also followed the vegetable naming system. Kaba, the first Universe 6 Saiyan we meet, has a name based on cabbage. The Japanese spelling Kyabe represents this vegetable. Interestingly, Cabba's name shares the same root as Nappa since both refer to types of cabbage, but their personalities are completely different. Caulifla, the confident female Saiyan from Universe 6, has a name derived from cauliflower. Her Japanese name, Kaurafura, clearly shows this connection. Kale, Caulifla's protege, is named after the leafy green vegetable kale. Both cauliflower and kale belong to the same plant family, which mirrors their close relationship in the series. The fact that these vegetables are related to broccoli also connects them to Broly, since kale's berserker form is similar to Broly's legendary transformation. The pattern extends to minor characters as well. Beet gets his name from beets. Leek is named after the vegetable leek. Various background Saiyans appearing in video games and other Dragon Ball media all maintain vegetable-based names, showing how consistent this rule is across the entire franchise. Even half Saiyans have some connection to the food naming theme, though they typically follow Earth naming customs rather than pure vegetable puns. Gohan, Goku's son, has a name that means cooked rice or meal in Japanese. This connects to his grandfather who raised Goku, also named Gohan. While not a vegetable, it fits the broader food theme. Goten's name plays on Goku's name by replacing one character, maintaining a connection to his father while having his own identity. Trunks and Bulma break from the vegetable pattern entirely because they follow Bulma's family tradition of being named after underwear. The official Dragon Ball social media account even posted an image in 2022 showing 18 different Saiyans with their vegetable origins listed. This confirmed that the naming pattern was intentional and recognized by the creators as an important part of Saiyan identity. Toriyama's practical approach to naming created one of the most recognizable patterns in anime and manga. What started as a simple organizational tool became a beloved aspect of Dragon Ball's world building. Fans enjoy discovering these puns, especially when they're not immediately obvious in translation. Some names work better in Japanese, while others translate clearly into English. The vegetable theme has become so famous that fans creating their own Saiyan characters always try to find unused vegetable names to maintain authenticity. The naming system also connects to the broader food themes in Dragon Ball. Frieza, the tyrant who destroyed the Saiyan race, got his name because Toriyama wanted to create a connection. You put vegetables in a freezer. Frieza's army includes soldiers named after fruits, and the Ginyu Force members have names based on dairy products. Everything goes in the freezer together, creating a food storage theme that tied different groups together. This attention to thematic detail shows how much thought went into Dragon Ball's universe, despite Toriyama's claims about making decisions quickly. The vegetable names help readers and viewers immediately identify Saiyans, even if they're minor characters. When a new character appears with a plant-based name, fans can guess they're likely a Saiyan before it's even confirmed in the story. The original Saiyan homeworld was called Planet Sadala, which references salad, a dish made from multiple vegetables. After the Saiyans conquered Planet Plant from the Tuffles, they renamed it Planet Vegeta after their king. The Tuffles themselves had a name that comes from fruits when you rearrange the Japanese word furutsu. This created a vegetables versus fruits conflict, with a vegetable named warriors conquering the fruit named civilization. Toriyama continued using this naming system throughout Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super. New Saiyans introduced in recent materials still follow the pattern. The consistency shows that what began as a practical organizational tool became a fundamental rule of the Dragon Ball universe. No pure-blooded Saiyan breaks this pattern. The vegetable puns vary in how obvious they are. Some names like kale barely change the vegetable name at all. Others like kakarot require understanding Japanese pronunciation to hear the connection to carrot. Some use anagrams like jine from negi or fascia from parsley. Others take parts of words like Vegeta from vegetable. This variety keeps the naming system interesting while maintaining the overall theme. Looking at the full list of Saiyan names reveals Toriyama's creativity within a self-imposed limitation. He managed to create dozens of distinct character names all based on vegetables. The system worked so well that other creators working on Dragon Ball projects, whether for movies, video games, or other media, always make sure new Saiyan characters follow the vegetable naming rule. It's become an unbreakable law of the Dragon Ball universe. The naming system also creates amusing moments when characters are called by their original Saiyan names. When Vegeta calls Goku Kakarot, it emphasizes their shared heritage and Vegeta's refusal to use Goku's Earth name. The vegetable names connect all Saiyans to their warrior culture and destroyed homeworld, serving as a reminder of where they came from. Toriyama's embarrassment about these simple puns shows his humble personality, but fans love this aspect of Dragon Ball. The vegetable names have become iconic, inspiring countless discussions, fan theories, and creative works. What could have been a forgettable detail instead became one of the most recognizable and celebrated elements of the entire franchise. The puns work in multiple languages, and even when they don't translate perfectly, fans appreciate the wordplay and the thought behind it. Before we move on, Make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on, we have the science of S cells. The science of S cells. For decades, fans believe the Super Saiyan transformation happened purely through anger and intense training. Goku turned his hair golden after watching Frieza murder his best friend Krillin. Vegeta achieved the form after pushing himself beyond his limits. The pattern seemed clear enough. But in January 2018, Akira Toriyama revealed something that changed how everyone understood this legendary transformation. He explained that Super Saiyan depends on biology, not just emotions. The revelation came in an interview published in Saikyo Jump, a Japanese manga magazine. Toriyama answered questions about Saiyan biology and the Super Saiyan transformation. His explanation introduced a new concept that fans had never heard before. He called them S cells. According to Toriyama, becoming a Super Saiyan requires more than just training hard and getting angry. A Saiyan's body must contain something called S cells. The name appears in Japanese as Saibo, which translates directly to S cells. These are special cells that exist inside Saiyan biology. Toriyama explained that once these S cells reach a certain amount, a trigger like anger will explosively increase the S cells and cause a physical change in the body. That physical change is the Super Saiyan transformation. This means the golden hair, the increased power, the glowing aura, all of it comes from these biological cells reacting to emotional triggers. Most Saiyans have some S cells in their bodies, but Toriyama confirmed they usually don't have a great quantity. This scarcity explains why Super Saiyans were so rare throughout Saiyan history that they became legends. The transformation wasn't impossible, but the biological requirements made it extremely difficult for most Saiyans to achieve. The interview revealed why Goku and Vegeta's children became Super Saiyans so easily compared to their fathers. Characters like Goten and Trunks transformed at very young ages without experiencing the same intense emotional trauma or years of training that Goku went through. Toriyama explained that these children inherited lots of S cells from their fathers. Since Goku and Vegeta both possessed high amounts of S cells after achieving the transformation themselves, they passed this biological advantage to their offspring. The interview specifically showed a diagram with Goten's image and text stating he could easily become Super Saiyan thanks to inheriting lots of S cells. But genetics alone doesn't explain everything. Toriyama pointed out another crucial factor. Earth's environment plays a major role in S cell development. He stated that Earth is gentler and easier to live in compared to planet Vegeta. The Saiyan homeworld was harsh and brutal. Saiyans lived under constant pressure, fighting for survival and serving tyrants like Frieza. This hostile environment was terrible for developing S cells. In contrast, Earth provided a peaceful setting where S cells could flourish. Children born and raised on Earth naturally developed more S cells than Saiyans who grew up on planet Vegeta. The most surprising part of Toriyama's explanation came when he discussed how to increase S cells. When asked how Saiyans can boost their S cell count, he gave an answer that contradicted what many fans expected. He said, "Having a gentle spirit is the best way to greatly increase S cells." This statement shocked readers because Saiyans are known as brutal warriors who love fighting and destruction. The idea that gentleness creates the key to their ultimate power seemed backward. Toriyama acknowledged this irony directly. He explained that most Saiyans have trouble developing a gentle spirit, which is exactly why no Super Saiyans appeared for such a long time that they became legendary. The Saiyan race as a whole struggled with the very personality trait needed to unlock their greatest transformation. Their warrior culture, their aggressive nature, their brutal way of life, all of it worked against them biologically. However, Toriyama was clear that having a gentle spirit alone isn't enough. He stated that a Saiyan can't reach the S cell quantity necessary for Super Saiyan simply by being gentle. A certain amount of battle power is absolutely necessary. This creates a specific requirement. A Saiyan needs 3 things to become Super Saiyan: enough S cells, sufficient battle power, and an emotional trigger. The combination of all 3 factors produces the transformation. Looking at this explanation in context makes Goku's first transformation make even more sense. The interview included Goku's image with text stating, "A gentle heart plus high battle power resulted in Super Saiyan." Goku had both requirements. His battle power had grown tremendously through his training with King Kai, his recovery from near-death experiences, and his intense fights on Namek. By the time he faced Frieza, his power level had reached approximately 3 million in his base form. But more importantly, Goku possessed the gentle spirit that most Saiyans lacked. He was raised on Earth by his adoptive grandfather Gohan, who taught him kindness and respect for life. Unlike other Saiyans who were raised as warriors from birth, Goku grew up protecting people rather than conquering them. He made friends easily, showed mercy to enemies, and fought to defend others rather than for personal glory or destruction. This gentle nature fundamentally shaped who Goku was as a person. The head injury Goku suffered as a baby played a role here too. When Goku first arrived on Earth as Kakarot, he was a violent, aggressive Saiyan baby. After falling down a ravine and hitting his head, his personality changed completely. He forgot his Saiyan programming and became the kind-hearted boy that Grandpa Gohan raised. This accident allowed Goku to develop the gentle spirit that later helped him accumulate S-cells throughout his life. Vegeta's path to Super Saiyan illustrates the opposite struggle. Vegeta was raised as a prince on planet Vegeta, trained from childhood to be a ruthless warrior. He served under Frieza for years, conquering planets and destroying civilizations. His pride, his anger, his refusal to show weakness, all of these traits defined his character. He had tremendous battle power, but lacked the gentle spirit needed to easily develop S-cells. This is why Vegeta struggled so much longer than Goku to achieve the transformation despite being naturally stronger in many ways. When Vegeta finally became a Super Saiyan, he had to work around his personality limitations. He trained obsessively, pushing himself to near death repeatedly to trigger the Saiyan ability to grow stronger after recovering from serious injuries. The manga and anime show him training in space at 100 times Earth's gravity, driving himself to exhaustion over and over. Eventually, his battle power and determination created enough S-cells for the transformation to occur, but it took much longer because his personality worked against the biological requirements. The Universe 6 Saiyans provide another example of how environment and personality affect S-cell development. Characters like Cabba, Caulifla, and Kale transformed into Super Saiyans very quickly when taught by Universe 7 Saiyans. Many fans criticize this as poor writing, but Toriyama's S-cell explanation addresses it directly. Universe 6 Saiyans evolved differently than Universe 7 Saiyans. They became defenders and peacekeepers rather than conquerors. They lived peaceful lives, only fighting when necessary to protect others. This gentle lifestyle meant Universe 6 Saiyans naturally accumulated high amounts of S-cells throughout their lives. When they learned the transformation was possible, they already had the biological foundation needed. They just required the knowledge of how to trigger it. Caulifla achieved Super Saiyan by concentrating her energy in her upper back, the area Cabba told her about. She had plenty of S-cells ready to activate. She just needed the technique. Kale represents an extreme case. The interview suggests that her exceptionally gentle and meek personality gave her enormous amounts of S-cells. Toriyama stated that having a gentle spirit is the best way to greatly increase S-cells. Kale is the definition of gentle and timid. She barely speaks, avoids conflict, and only wants to support Caulifla. Her gentle nature created such high S-cell levels that her transformation became the legendary Super Saiyan form, an extremely rare and powerful variation. The S-cell concept also explains why ancient Saiyans struggled to achieve the transformation. The original Super Saiyan appeared over 1,000 years before Goku's time. Toriyama revealed in the same interview that this Saiyan was named Yamoshi. He was described as a righteous Saiyan who led a rebellion against evil Saiyans. His gentle and righteous nature allowed him to accumulate S-cells despite living on the brutal Saiyan homeworld. He became the first Super Saiyan god when 5 other righteous Saiyans combined their power with his. After Yamoshi died, no other Saiyan achieved the Super Saiyan transformation for over a millennium. The entire race remained stuck below the threshold needed to transform. This happened because Planet Vegeta's culture promoted aggression, violence, and conquest. Saiyans were bred and trained to be warriors from birth. Babies with high power levels became elite soldiers. Those with lower power got sent to weak planets as infiltration babies to conquer them. The entire society pushed Saiyans away from developing gentle spirits. When Frieza destroyed Planet Vegeta, almost all Saiyans died. The few survivors like Goku, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz were scattered across the universe. Goku ended up on Earth where he could develop differently. This accident of fate placed him in the perfect environment to accumulate S-cells. Meanwhile, the violent Saiyan culture that had prevented the transformation for centuries was wiped out. Some fans compared S-cells to midichlorians from Star Wars. In that franchise, George Lucas introduced midichlorians as microscopic life forms that allow people to use the Force. Many Star Wars fans disliked this explanation because it took something mystical and made it scientific. The same reaction happened with S-cells. Some Dragon Ball fans felt that adding a biological explanation took away from the emotional power of Goku's first transformation. The original scene on Namek remains one of Dragon Ball Z's most iconic moments. Frieza had just survived Goku's Spirit Bomb, the most powerful attack Goku could perform. Everyone thought Frieza was defeated, but the tyrant emerged from the crater, barely injured. He shot Piccolo through the chest with a death beam. Then he used his psychic powers to grab Krillin, lifted him into the air, and detonated the energy inside Krillin's body. Krillin exploded right in front of Goku and Gohan. Goku had already been pushed beyond his limits, fighting Frieza. He had used everything he had. Watching his best friend murdered so casually broke something inside him. The rage he felt was pure and overwhelming. His hair turned golden, his eyes turned blue-green, his power multiplied by 50 times instantly. He became the Super Saiyan that Frieza feared. The scene was emotional, dramatic, and satisfying because it felt earned through Goku's suffering and loss. Adding S cells to this explanation doesn't actually contradict the emotional weight of the moment. Toriyama never said emotions don't matter. He said emotions are the trigger that causes S cells to explosively increase. Goku needed both components. He needed the S cells built up through his gentle nature and Earth upbringing, and he needed the intense rage at Krillin's death to trigger those cells into action. Without either part, the transformation couldn't happen. The S cell explanation clarifies plot holes that existed before. Why could Goten and Trunks transform so easily as children? They inherited S cells and grew up on Earth. Why did Universe 6 Saiyans learn so fast? They had gentle lives that built up S cells. Why did ancient Saiyans struggle? Planet Vegeta's culture prevented gentle spirits from developing. The biological framework provides consistent answers to questions that previously seemed like inconsistencies in the story. Whether fans like the explanation or not, it comes directly from Toriyama. The interview was official, published in a legitimate manga magazine, and translated by respected sources in the Dragon Ball community. The S-cell concept is now canon information about how Super Saiyan transformations work. It adds a layer of biological realism to a series that already featured alien races, magical dragon wishes, and energy attacks that could destroy planets. The science of S-cells reveals that Super Saiyan transformation was never just about rage. It required the right biological foundation, built through personality and environment, combined with sufficient combat ability, activated by intense emotion. Goku achieved it first, not only because he got angry, but because his entire life on Earth had prepared his body biologically for that moment. His peaceful nature created the S-cells. His training created the battle power. Krillin's death created the trigger. All three elements combined to create the legendary warrior that changed Dragon Ball forever. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to the real Super Saiyan God. The real Super Saiyan God. The Super Saiyan God transformation appeared in Dragon Ball Z, Battle of Gods, introducing a completely new level of power beyond Super Saiyan 3. When Goku's friends asked the dragon Shenron about this mysterious form, he explained an ancient legend about a righteous Saiyan who tried to stop evil Saiyans long ago. But the legend was based on a real person. In January 2018, Akira Toriyama revealed the full story behind the Super Saiyan God and the ritual Goku used. The key to everything was a Saiyan warrior named Yamoshi. Yamoshi lived during an era long before planet Vegeta became the Saiyan homeworld. Back then, Saiyans occupied a different planet called Sadala. The Saiyan race at that time was brutal and cruel, conquering other worlds and destroying anyone who stood in their way, but Yamoshi was different. Despite being a Saiyan, he possessed a righteous heart. He believed his people were doing wrong and wanted to change their evil ways. Toriyama explained Yamoshi's story in an interview with Saikyo Jump magazine. He stated that Yamoshi and 5 of his comrades started a rebellion against the other Saiyans. These 6 righteous warriors fought against their own kind to try to stop the violence and cruelty that defined Saiyan culture. The rebellion put them in direct conflict with the majority of their race, who saw them as traitors. During the fighting, Yamoshi found himself cornered by enemy combatants. With his back against the wall and his life threatened, something extraordinary happened. Yamoshi became a Super Saiyan for the very first time in Saiyan history. His transformation shocked everyone who witnessed it. His hair turned golden, his power multiplied, and his fighting style became fearsome and overwhelming. The other Saiyans had never seen anything like it before. Despite this incredible power, Yamoshi faced a major problem. He and his 5 allies were vastly outnumbered. The evil Saiyans kept coming, wave after wave. Yamoshi fought valiantly with his new Super Saiyan power, but the endless fighting wore him down. Eventually, exhaustion took over. His body couldn't maintain the transformation forever. Yamoshi was defeated and killed by the overwhelming forces arrayed against him. Most warriors would end there, but Yamoshi's story continued after death. Toriyama revealed that Yamoshi's spirit refused to rest. After his death, his spirit began wandering in continuous search of 6 righteous-hearted Saiyans. His goal was to find a new savior who could succeed where he failed. This new savior would become something even greater than the Super Saiyan form Yamoshi achieved. The spirit searched for 6 pure-hearted Saiyans to create the Super Saiyan God. This wandering spirit became the foundation for multiple legends that persisted throughout Saiyan history. The story of Yamoshi's original Super Saiyan transformation became the legend of the legendary Super Saiyan that Vegeta mentioned during Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta had heard stories passed down on planet Vegeta about a golden warrior who appeared once every 1,000 years. That legend originated from Yamoshi's first transformation. The legend evolved and changed as it passed through generations. Since the evil Saiyans who defeated Yamoshi were the ones telling the story, they emphasized the destructive power of the Super Saiyan transformation. They focused on how terrifying and powerful the Golden Warrior was, turning Yamoshi into a figure of fear rather than justice. The original context of his righteousness got lost or minimized in the retelling. Frieza learned about this legend at some point during his rule over the Saiyans. The tyrant had extensive knowledge about Saiyan history and culture. When he heard about the legendary Super Saiyan and its incredible destructive power, Frieza became genuinely frightened. He worried that if the Saiyans ever produced another warrior with that kind of power, they might rebel against him. This fear played a major role in Frieza's decision to destroy planet Vegeta and wipe out the Saiyan race. Toriyama confirmed that when Vegeta and Frieza first saw Goku transform into a Super Saiyan on Namek, their shocked reactions came from recognizing the legend becoming reality. Vegeta had been raised on planet Vegeta and heard the stories about the legendary Super Saiyan. Frieza had studied Saiyan history and knew what the golden hair meant. Both of them were seeing a myth come to life right in front of them, and it terrified them. Meanwhile, Yamoshi's spirit continued its search for righteous Saiyans. The spirit traveled across space and time looking for 6 pure-hearted warriors who could help create a new savior. This search lasted for countless years, possibly thousands. During this time, information about Yamoshi spread to other planets and races. The Namekians recorded Yamoshi's story in their ancient book of legends. Toriyama explained that the elder Namekian who wrote the book probably sympathized with Yamoshi's spirit. The Namekians are a peaceful race who value life and harmony. They would naturally feel drawn to a story about a warrior fighting against evil, even if that warrior came from a violent race. This is why Shenron knew about the Super Saiyan God when Goku asked. The dragon's knowledge came from Namekian records that preserved Yamoshi's legend. Beerus, the god of destruction, also learned about Yamoshi through supernatural means. Toriyama stated that Beerus picked up information about Yamoshi's spirit through a prophetic dream. Beerus dreamed about a powerful warrior who could provide him with an exciting fight. The dream showed him images of Yamoshi's rage and desperation in battle. While Beerus might not have felt intimidated by Yamoshi, he found the warrior impressive enough to remember and seek out. This prophetic dream became the reason Beerus woke up from his long sleep and started searching for the Super Saiyan God. He told Whis about his dream and began tracking down the remaining Saiyans to find this legendary warrior. Beerus traveled to King Kai's planet looking for Goku, asking about the Super Saiyan God. When Goku didn't know what Beerus meant, the god went to Earth to question the other Saiyans. At Bulma's birthday party, after Beerus threatened to destroy Earth, Vegeta remembered hearing about something called a Super Saiyan God but had no real information about it. This prompted Goku to summon Shenron using the Dragon Balls. When Shenron appeared, Goku asked him about the Super Saiyan God. The dragon explained what he knew from the Namekian Book of Legends. Shenron told the story of how a Super Saiyan God once appeared on planet Vegeta to stop evil Saiyans from causing destruction. The god possessed immense power and succeeded in defeating the evil warriors. However, the transformation had a time limit. The power faded, and the Super Saiyan God disappeared. With the Protector gone, evil returned to planet Vegeta, and the Super Saiyan God became nothing more than a legend. Then Shenron revealed how to create a new Super Saiyan God. He explained that the transformation required a ritual involving 6 righteous Saiyans. 5 of these Saiyans needed to channel their energy into a 6th Saiyan who would receive the God power. This ritual came directly from Yamoshi's wandering spirit. During his search for 6 righteous hearts, Yamoshi devised this method to create a Super Saiyan God. The ritual required very specific conditions. All 6 participants needed to be pure-hearted. They needed to gather in a circle and hold hands. The 5 Saiyans would pour their hearts and energy into the 6th Saiyan, creating a divine transformation. If performed correctly, a brilliant red aura would surround the group and the chosen Saiyan would rise into the air as their body changed. Goku volunteered to be the one who received the power. The other participants were Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks. They needed 6 Saiyans total, but they only had 5 present. Just when it seemed impossible, Videl revealed she was pregnant with Gohan's child. Pan, the unborn baby with Saiyan blood, could participate in the ritual even though she hadn't been born yet. This provided the 6th Saiyan needed. The group performed the ritual exactly as Shenron described. The 5 Saiyans held hands in a circle with Goku at the center. They focused their energy on Goku, pouring their pure hearts into him. A brilliant glow surrounded them all. Energy flowed from the 5 participants into Goku's body. Then Goku began floating upward as the transformation took hold. His appearance changed dramatically. His hair turned a bright magenta red color. His eyes became red as well. Unlike other Super Saiyan forms that made warriors more muscular, this transformation made Goku look younger and thinner. His body seemed to shed excess mass, becoming leaner and more refined. A fiery red aura surrounded him like a raging flame. The transformation was complete. Goku had become a Super Saiyan God. During the transformation sequence, something remarkable happened. A silhouette appeared before Goku. This figure represented Yamoshi's spirit finally finding the savior he had been searching for. After countless years of wandering, Yamoshi's spirit witnessed the creation of a new Super Saiyan God. The spirit passed its blessing and knowledge to Goku, completing the connection between the ancient warrior and the modern hero. The ritual worked because it perfectly matched what Yamoshi's spirit had been seeking. 6 righteous-hearted Saiyans coming together for a noble purpose. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and the unborn Pan all possessed pure hearts. They gathered to protect Earth from destruction. They channeled their combined goodness into creating a warrior who could stand against a god. This fulfilled everything Yamoshi had hoped to find during his eternal search. With his new godly power, Goku challenged Beerus to a fight. The battle took place high above Earth, with power levels that threatened to destroy the universe itself. Goku discovered that Super Saiyan God granted him access to godly ki, a type of energy that normal beings couldn't even sense. This divine energy made him far more powerful than Super Saiyan 3 ever did. The transformation had limitations, though. During the fight with Beerus, Goku's Super Saiyan God form eventually wore off without him realizing it. The ritual-based transformation wasn't permanent. However, Goku's body had learned from the experience. Even after reverting to regular Super Saiyan, his power remained much higher than before. His base form had absorbed some of the godly power, making him permanently stronger. Later, both Goku and Vegeta found ways to access Super Saiyan God without needing the ritual. They trained with Whis, Beerus' attendant, and martial arts teacher. Through intense training with a divine being, they learned to tap into godly ki on their own. This meant they could transform into Super Saiyan God whenever they wanted, without requiring 5 other Saiyans to help. Vegeta achieved this independently, which fit his prideful character perfectly. He refused to use the ritual because he hated the idea of borrowing power from others. Instead, he trained relentlessly with Whis until he unlocked godly ki through his own efforts. Both Saiyans eventually learned to combine Super Saiyan God with the regular Super Saiyan transformation, creating an even more powerful form called Super Saiyan Blue. The connection between Yamoshi and the ritual reveals how Dragon Ball's mythology evolved over time. Yamoshi became the first Super Saiyan through rage and desperation during battle. After death, his spirit searched for a way to create something even stronger. The Super Saiyan God transformation represented Yamoshi's vision of combining the power of multiple righteous Saiyans into one warrior. This explains why the ritual required specifically righteous hearts. Yamoshi himself was defined by his righteousness, fighting against evil, despite being born into a cruel race. He wanted to find Saiyans who shared his values. The ritual reflected his belief that good-hearted warriors working together could achieve what one warrior alone could not. Toriyama's revelation about Yamoshi answered questions that had puzzled fans since Battle of Gods premiered. Why did this ritual exist? Who created it? Why did it require 6 Saiyans specifically? The answer was that Yamoshi's spirit designed everything while searching for worthy successors. The number 6 came from Yamoshi and his 5 comrades who originally fought together. The requirement for righteous hearts reflected Yamoshi's own values. The legend also explained why Frieza feared the Saiyans enough to destroy their entire race. He wasn't just worried about regular Super Saiyans. The legends he heard probably included distorted versions of Yamoshi's Super Saiyan God power, mixed with stories about the regular Super Saiyan transformation. The combination of both legends made Frieza paranoid about what the Saiyans might become. Yamoshi's influence reaches throughout Dragon Ball's entire storyline. His first transformation as a Super Saiyan became the legend that Vegeta referenced. His death and continued existence as a wandering spirit created the Super Saiyan God ritual. His righteous nature set the standard for what kind of Saiyans could access divine power. His search finally ended when Goku and his friends performed the ritual on Earth. Without Yamoshi, the events of Battle of Gods could never have happened. Beerus wouldn't have dreamed about a Super Saiyan God. Shenron couldn't have explained the ritual. Goku wouldn't have achieved godly ki. The entire pathway to divine transformation started with one righteous Saiyan who refused to accept evil, even though it cost him his life. Yamoshi represents what Saiyans could have been if they had chosen righteousness over cruelty. While most Saiyans embraced violence and conquest, Yamoshi fought to protect the innocent. While others valued strength for destruction, Yamoshi wanted strength to defend. His legacy survived thousands of years precisely because his ideals were so rare and powerful. The ritual itself became a way for Yamoshi's spirit to continue fighting for good even after death. Every time the ritual is performed correctly, Yamoshi's presence manifests. His spirit approves the chosen Saiyan and passes the divine power forward. In this way, Yamoshi never truly died. His will and purpose live on through every Super Saiyan God who follows his path. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to God Ki Explained. God Ki Explained. God Ki exists as energy on a completely different level from the power most fighters use throughout Dragon Ball. Every warrior, from Goku to Piccolo to Krillin, relies on regular ki for their techniques. This energy flows through living beings and can be sensed by trained fighters across vast distances. Regular ki creates visible auras when fighters power up. Scouters can measure it. Friends can track each other by feeling these energy signatures anywhere in the universe. God Ki operates by entirely different rules. Divine beings like Beerus and Whis use this exceptional type of energy. The gods of destruction wield it naturally. Angels possess it from birth. Supreme Kais have access to both regular ki and God ki simultaneously. This divine energy represents something fundamentally different from mortal power. The quality itself exists on a higher plane that regular fighters simply cannot reach through normal training methods. The most striking property of God ki comes from its complete invisibility to mortal senses. When Goku first transformed into Super Saiyan God during his battle with Beerus, something shocking happened. Gohan could no longer feel his father's energy. Piccolo lost track of Goku's power completely. Krillin found himself unable to sense anything from his oldest friend. Every fighter, watching the battle between Goku and Beerus, faced the same problem. The energy signatures they relied on their entire lives provided no information whatsoever. This effect happens because God Ki possesses an exceptionally pure quality that changes how it manifests. Regular Ki creates fluctuations in life energy that trained warriors learn to detect. These fluctuations act like waves that spread outward from a fighter's body. Skilled martial artists pick up these waves and interpret them to measure power levels and locations. God Ki fluctuates far less than regular energy. The wavelength changes so dramatically that it becomes completely unrecognizable to anyone using normal Ki detection methods. The energy exists right there in front of mortals. They simply lack the ability to perceive it. Scouters face the same limitation as living sensors. Frieza's technology could measure power levels across the galaxy by reading key signatures. When Beerus arrived on Earth, the devices returned no readings at all. Super Saiyan God Goku registered as completely undetectable to scanning equipment. The same technology that measured Frieza's millions of power units found nothing when pointed at divine energy. God Ki exists outside the spectrum that technological detection can analyze. Yet mortals who cannot sense God Ki still feel something when exposed to it. The energy creates tremendous pressure that announces itself through pure intensity. When Goku fought Beerus as a Super Saiyan God, the other Z fighters felt overwhelming force even though they detected no energy signature. Vegeta experienced this pressure directly when he first encountered Whis. The Saiyan Prince described the sensation as immense weight bearing down on him. This pressure occurs because God Ki becomes incredibly dense when compressed within a body. The containment creates physical force that mortals can feel, even when they cannot sense the energy itself. Achieving God Ki requires fundamentally different methods than developing regular Ki. Mortals possess normal energy from birth. Even young children like Goten could fly using natural Ki before they learn to walk properly. God Ki cannot be accessed through normal growth or standard training. The divine energy must be obtained through specific processes that completely change how a fighter's power functions. The Super Saiyan God ritual provided the first method shown in Dragon Ball Super. Shenron explained that 6 righteous Saiyans must channel their energy into a 7th participant. Goku received power from Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, and Pan, who existed as an unborn child in Vidal's womb at the time. The combined energy of these 6 pure-hearted Saiyans allowed Goku to reach the Super Saiyan God transformation for the first time. This ritual granted Goku access to God Ki and the massive power increase that came with it. Training with divine beings offers the second path to obtaining this energy. Vegeta achieved God Ki through months of intense training under Whis on Beerus's planet. The angel taught Vegeta to contain his power completely within his body. Regular Saiyan training focused on releasing massive amounts of energy outward. This approach created the dramatic auras and power displays that defined earlier Dragon Ball battles. God Ki training reverses this entire philosophy. Warriors must keep their energy sealed inside themselves, rather than letting it leak out through visible auras. Whis demonstrated this principle directly when training Goku and Vegeta together. He noticed their energy constantly leaking outward during their sparring match. The angel explained they must seal their power strictly within their bodies to avoid alerting opponents while maximizing their strength. When Goku and Vegeta succeeded in containing their energy completely, Blue Ki appeared between them for the first time. They felt God Ki through their own efforts, rather than relying on a ritual. This training method proved that mortals could develop divine energy through proper instruction from beings who already possessed it. The difficulty of using God Ki at first comes from its invisible nature, combined with its intense pressure. Goku noted that controlling this power felt incredibly hard when he first accessed it. Imagine trying to write with an invisible pen using invisible ink. You feel the pen in your hand. You sense the weight and pressure as it moves across paper. Yet you cannot see what you write until you finish each word and move to the next one. God Ki creates similar challenges. Warriors feel the immense power building inside themselves. They sense the pressure it creates. But they lack the visual feedback and energy leakage that guided their entire previous training experience. This containment requirement explains why God Ki provides such extraordinary power increases. Regular Ki constantly leaks from a fighter's body when they power up. Super Saiyan 3, Goku created massive golden auras that announced his presence across entire planets. The dramatic visual displays looked impressive, but represented wasted energy hemorrhaging outward. God Ki, forces all power inward where it can be used for attacks and defense rather than flashy displays. Every bit of energy serves a purpose instead of dissipating into the atmosphere. The efficiency multiplies available power by factors that regular training could never achieve. Super Saiyan God became the first transformation to utilize this divine energy for Saiyans. The form changes everything about traditional Saiyan transformations. Regular Super Saiyan forms added muscle mass and spiked hair upward in increasingly wild configurations. Super Saiyan God makes the user leaner rather than bulkier. Hair turns red and takes on a flame-like quality rather than going gold and rigid. The entire aura shifts from violent and erratic to tranquil and smooth. These changes reflect the fundamentally different nature of the power being used. The red coloration of Super Saiyan God specifically indicates divine energy used by Saiyans in their first godly transformation. Different types of divine beings use God Ki that appears in various colors. Gods of destruction wield purple divine energy. Angels use their own distinctive shades. Saiyans who achieve God Ki through mortal origins manifested as red in the Super Saiyan God form. This color coding helps distinguish the source and type of divine power being used. Super Saiyan Blue represents the natural evolution of the Super Saiyan God form. Akira Toriyama described it as, what happens when a Saiyan with the power of Super Saiyan God further transforms into a Super Saiyan while using Divine Ki. The transformation combines God Ki with the traditional Super Saiyan boost. Hair and eyebrows turn vivid blue rather than red or gold. The aura becomes blue with subtle yellow glows around the edges. These yellow traces possibly represent remnants of the original Super Saiyan transformation. The blue color choice carries specific meaning according to Toriyama. He explained that blue hair expresses how breaking through certain limits allows Goku to become both incredibly strong and perfectly tranquil. The transformation enables users to maintain composure during fights rather than relying on rage and emotion. This calmness aligns with the divine nature of the power and separates it from traditional Super Saiyan forms that drew strength from anger and desperation. Super Saiyan Blue provides better ki control than any previous Saiyan transformation. The containment principles that define God Ki carry over into this combined form. Energy leakage drops to minimal levels compared to Super Saiyan 3's massive waste. This improved control allows techniques that previous forms made impossible. Goku could stack Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan Blue because the transformation stability prevented the chaotic energy conflicts that made such combinations deadly before. The precise control over divine energy opened entirely new strategic possibilities. Some beings prove exceptional regarding God Ki detection. Hit could sense Super Saiyan God Goku's power during their Universe 6 tournament match, despite apparently possessing no divine energy himself. This ability remains largely unexplained, but demonstrates that rules around God Ki have exceptions. Frieza gained the ability to sense divine energy after his 4 months of intense training following his resurrection. He could feel Super Saiyan Blue Goku's power, and even compared it to his own golden form's energy. This development suggests that reaching God-level power through other means might grant sensitivity to divine Ki, even without possessing it directly. Future Trunks provides another interesting case. After achieving Super Saiyan Rage during the battle against Goku Black and Zamasu, Trunks gained the ability to sense God Ki. He could feel Vegeto's power in Super Saiyan Blue form. His transformation apparently pushed his capabilities high enough to perceive divine energy. These exceptions prove that the barrier between mortal and divine perception has cracks that exceptional warriors can exploit. Supreme Kais occupy a unique position in the God Ki hierarchy. These divine beings possess both regular Ki and God Ki simultaneously. Goku could sense Supreme Kai during the Majin Buu saga despite the deity's divine status. King Kai follows similar rules. Mortals could always feel his presence, even though he ranked as a deity in the cosmic hierarchy. This dual nature means Supreme Kais lack the pure divine power of beings like Beerus, who use exclusively God Ki. The mixture possibly explains why Supreme Kais operate at lower power levels than gods of destruction, despite both being divine beings. The transformation into Super Saiyan God comes with fascinating properties beyond power increases. Godly techniques become accessible that regular forms cannot use. The anime showed Goku absorbing enemy attacks after contact through his Super Saiyan God aura. The form enables paralyzing opponents using divine energy's overwhelming pressure. Self-healing becomes possible by channeling the tranquil nature of God Ki. These abilities demonstrate how divine energy changes what becomes possible beyond simple strength improvements. Battle of Gods established something crucial about Goku's experience with Super Saiyan God. His body absorbed the transformation's power even after the form wore off during his fight with Beerus. Goku continued battling the God of Destruction effectively in his base form and regular Super Saiyan state. His physical body and energy had adapted to the sensation of divine power. This absorption allowed Goku to continue growing stronger even after returning to normal forms. His base state had been fundamentally altered by experiencing God Ki. The concept of containing energy within the body rather than letting it leak outward became central to mastering divine power. Vegeta discovered through his training that keeping Ki sealed inside while powering up represented the secret to accessing God Ki. This realization transformed how Saiyans approached their transformations. Previous forms celebrated the massive outward explosion of power. God forms required perfect internal control. The shift demanded completely relearning everything about energy manipulation. Perfect control over God Ki enables the precise techniques that angels and gods of destruction use naturally. Ultra Instinct represents the pinnacle of this control for Goku. The form uses divine energy so precisely that individual body parts act on pure instinct without conscious thought. Vegeta's Ultra Ego channels God Ki through the philosophy of gods of destruction. These ultimate techniques show what becomes possible when warriors completely master divine energy rather than simply accessing it. Moro's experience when he absorbed Maris's angel powers demonstrates the physical demands God Ki places on mortal bodies. The villain's body began malfunctioning and growing uncontrollably because he lacked the training to contain such overwhelming divine energy. His physical durability proved insufficient, his mental control fell short. The divine power overwhelmed his system and caused his body to fail. This incident proved that physical and mental training must reach extreme levels before mortals can safely wield God Ki at full intensity. The Tournament of Power showed that fighters could sense God Ki once they achieved comparable power levels. Jiren detected when Toppo powered up into his God of Destruction form. The tournament featured multiple warriors who could sense divine energy despite their mortal origins. These capabilities suggest that reaching God-level strength, even through non-divine means, might grant the sensitivity needed to detect this special form of Ki. The power gap matters more than the energy type for determining detection ability. God Ki completely changed how Dragon Ball's power scaling functioned going forward. Before Battle of Gods, fighters grew stronger through harder training and new transformations that pushed their Saiyan biology further. God Ki introduced a ceiling that regular training could never breach. Mortals needed divine intervention or godly instruction to access this higher tier of power. The change separated Dragon Ball Super's threats into clear categories. Divine enemies required divine power to defeat. Regular training no longer sufficed against cosmic-level threats. The tranquil nature of God Ki represents perhaps its most significant departure from traditional Dragon Ball energy. Every previous power increase tied to emotions like rage or desperation. Super Saiyan forms specifically drew strength from anger. God Ki requires calm and mental clarity instead. Warriors must empty their minds of unnecessary thoughts. The life energy wavelength approaches zero fluctuations as control improves. This spiritual and mental component adds entirely new training dimensions beyond physical conditioning and combat practice. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to Potara fusion rules. Potara fusion rules. Potara earrings represent one of the most powerful fusion methods in all of Dragon Ball. These small green earrings belong exclusively to Supreme Kais and their attendants. Every Supreme Kai across all 12 universes wears these accessories as standard parts of their divine outfits. The earrings look simple and decorative. Most people would never guess they possess incredible fusion capabilities that can merge two beings into a single warrior, far stronger than either individual. The fusion process itself requires almost no effort or skill. Two people simply wear the earrings on opposite ears. One person puts an earring on their left ear, while the other wears one on their right ear. The moment both earrings connect to opposite ears, the wearers get pulled together like magnets. The fusion happens instantly, whether the participants want it or not. This automatic nature makes Potara fusion far easier than alternatives like the fusion dance, which demands perfect synchronization of complex movements. Old Kai introduced Potara fusion during the battle against Majin Buu. Goku needed a way to match Super Buu's overwhelming power after the monster absorbed Gohan. The Elder Kai suggested fusion using his Potara earrings rather than the Metamoran fusion dance. When Goku asked how long the fusion would last, Old Kai delivered shocking news. The fusion would be permanent. Once two beings merged through Potara earrings, they could never separate again. They would exist as a single fused entity forever. This permanence explanation made complete sense based on everything shown in Dragon Ball Z. Old Kai himself existed as living proof. The ancient Supreme Kai had fused with an old witch many generations ago. An elderly woman with magical powers snuck up on the young Supreme Kai while he read comic books. She grabbed one of his Potara earrings without permission. The witch put the earring on her own ear, saying it would look better on her. The fusion activated immediately and merged them permanently into the being everyone knows as Old Kai. The fusion changed the Supreme Kai's appearance dramatically. His face became wrinkled and aged. His skin turned purple. White hair replaced his youthful mohawk. The old witch's elderly features dominated the fusion's physical form. Yet the Supreme Kai's personality remained in complete control. Old Kai still considered himself the Supreme Kai rather than a witch. He referred to the witch as a separate entity, even though they shared one body. The fusion lasted for eons, with no signs of ever wearing off. Kibito Kai provided another example of permanent Potara fusion. Supreme Kai Shin and his attendant Kibito decided to test the earrings after watching Old Kai explain how they worked. The two fused immediately without thinking through the consequences. Only after completing the fusion did they realize the merge would last forever. Kibito Kai represented the combination of both beings with Shin's face and voice, but Kibito's longer hair and taller height. The fusion remained stable and permanent throughout the rest of Dragon Ball Z. Vegito changed everything about fusion in Dragon Ball. Goku and Vegeta merged using Potara earrings when facing Super Buu after the monster absorbed Gohan. The resulting warrior possessed incredible power that completely outclassed Buu's strongest form. Vegito toyed with the pink monster throughout their entire fight. Super Buu couldn't land a single meaningful hit despite absorbing multiple powerful warriors. Vegito's strength came from combining Goku and Vegeta's power levels along with a special rival boost that multiplied the fusion's abilities even further. The fusion allowed Vegito to intentionally get absorbed by Super Buu. He wanted to rescue everyone trapped inside the monster's body. Vegito created a protective barrier before Buu swallowed him whole. But something unexpected happened inside Buu's stomach. The fusion suddenly ended. Goku and Vegeta separated back into two individuals despite the supposed permanent nature of Potara fusion. They found themselves confused about why the merge broke. Vegeta considered them lucky to escape permanent fusion. The explanation given at the time suggested Buu's unique magical biology somehow cancelled the fusion. Dragon Ball Super revealed the truth about Potara fusion during the battle against fused Zamasu. Goku proposed using Potara fusion again to match the merged god's power. Vegeta initially refused because he believed the fusion would be permanent like Old Kai claimed. Supreme Kai Gowasu from Universe 10 explained the real rules that changed everything fans thought they knew about Potara earrings. Potara fusion only remains permanent when at least one participant holds the rank of Supreme Kai. Divine beings like Shin can fuse indefinitely without time limits. Their godly status allows them to maintain fusion forever. Mortals follow completely different rules. When two mortals fuse using Potara earrings, the fusion lasts exactly 1 hour. After 60 minutes pass, the fusion automatically ends, and the two participants separate back into their original forms. This explanation retroactively changed how fans understood Vegito's diffusion inside Buu during Dragon Ball Z. The fusion didn't break because of Buu's magical properties. Vegito simply ran out of time. The 1 hour limit expired while Goku and Vegeta searched inside Buu's body. They separated naturally when their fusion timer hit 0. Old Kai made an honest mistake when he told Goku the fusion would be permanent. The ancient Supreme Kai apparently didn't know about the time limit for mortal users. The question remains why Old Kai lacked this crucial knowledge. He lived for countless generations and witnessed many events throughout universe history. He knew enough about Potara fusion to warn against using them carelessly. Yet, somehow he missed the detail about mortals having limited fusion time. Perhaps Supreme Kais rarely allowed mortals to use Potara earrings. The divine accessories belonged exclusively to gods under normal circumstances. Goku and Vegeta might have been among the first mortals ever to attempt Potara fusion. Old Kai could only speak from his experience with permanent Supreme Kai fusions. Gowasu knew the correct information because Supreme Kais from different universes apparently understood Potara mechanics better. Universe 10's Supreme Kai had no confusion about the 1 hour limit for mortals. He explained the rules clearly when Goku asked about fusion duration. This knowledge gap between Old Kai and Gowasu remains somewhat mysterious. Both served as Supreme Kais with similar levels of divine authority, yet their understanding of Potara properties differed significantly. The 1 hour time limit exists because mortal bodies cannot sustain fusion indefinitely. Combining two beings into a single entity places tremendous stress on physical forms. Mortal biology simply lacks the durability to maintain permanent fusion. Divine beings possess fundamentally different physiology that handles fusion's demands without problems. Supreme Kais can stay merged forever because their godly bodies withstand the constant strain. Mortals experience severe pressure that eventually forces them apart after 60 minutes. Power consumption can reduce the time limit even further. Super Saiyan Blue Vegito demonstrated this limitation during his battle against fused Zamasu. The fusion transformed into Super Saiyan Blue to match the merged god's incredible strength. Blue form provided enough power for Vegito to dominate the fight initially. He landed devastating attacks that pushed Zamasu backward. Victory seemed certain as Vegito prepared to finish the battle with overwhelming force. But something went wrong before Vegito could land the killing blow. The fusion suddenly ended with Supreme Kai Shin noting that 60 minutes had not yet passed. Gowasu speculated that Super Saiyan Blue Vegito simply consumed too much energy too quickly. The exponential power output of the godly transformation placed additional strain on the fusion beyond normal limits. Instead of lasting the full hour, Vegito diffused after less than 40 minutes. Some estimates suggest the fusion might have lasted only 10 to 15 minutes once Super Saiyan Blue activated. This power consumption problem creates serious strategic issues for Potara fusion between mortals. The earrings work best against opponents of similar or lower strength. Vegito can maintain fusion for the complete hour while fighting in base form or regular Super Saiyan transformations. But facing enemies that require godly power forces Vegito to use Super Saiyan Blue. The immense energy drain from that transformation cuts fusion time drastically. Opponents who survive the initial onslaught can simply wait for Vegito to defuse before continuing their attack. Kefla demonstrated similar power consumption effects during the Tournament of Power. The Universe 6 Saiyans Caulifla and Kale fused using Potara earrings given by their universe's gods. Kefla transformed into powerful Super Saiyan forms to combat Goku. The fusion used tremendous amounts of energy throughout the extended battle. While the anime doesn't show Kefla defusing early, the strain from maintaining such high power output likely contributed to reducing available fusion time. The permanent nature of Supreme Kai fusions follows different rules entirely. Old Kai has existed as a merged being for countless generations without any sign of the fusion weakening. Kibito Kai remained fused from the Buu saga through early Dragon Ball Super with perfect stability. Fused Zamasu should have lasted forever since future Zamasu held Supreme Kai status despite being an apprentice rather than a fully appointed god. The divine component of any fusion grants permanence regardless of the other participants' mortal origins. Goku Black and future Zamasu created an interesting test case for permanent fusion rules. Goku Black technically held unofficial Supreme Kai status after stealing Goku's body and killing his universe's gods. Future Zamasu remained an apprentice Supreme Kai rather than achieving full divine rank. Their fusion using Potara earrings should have been permanent based on both participants' godly connections. The anime showed fused Zamasu remaining merged throughout the battle. The manga version had the fusion break apart, eventually following Akira Toriyama's outline. This diffusion might have occurred because neither participant held official Supreme Kai appointments despite their divine origins. Majin Buu's body possesses unique properties that can reverse Potara fusion. Vegito diffused inside Super Buu during Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Daima later explained this phenomenon in greater detail. Kibito Kai asked Buu to absorb him to test whether the special environment inside the monster could break permanent Supreme Kai fusion. Buu swallowed Kibito Kai whole and the fusion immediately cancelled. The Majin spit out Shin and Kibito as separate individuals. According to the explanation given, Buu's body produces mysterious gases that reverse Potara fusion effects. These special gases exist naturally inside Majin biology. They create an environment that negates the energies maintaining fusion between two beings. The gases work on both temporary mortal fusions and permanent Supreme Kai merges. This property makes Buu's body one of the few known methods for safely diffusing Potara combinations without negative effects. The Namekian Dragon Balls provide another way to undo permanent Supreme Kai fusions. Kibito Kai used a wish on Porunga to separate back into Shin and Kibito in Dragon Ball Super. The dragon's reality-altering powers could reverse even permanent divine fusions without complications. This method requires access to Namek's Dragon Balls, which makes it impractical during emergencies. But it proves that permanent fusions aren't truly irreversible if someone possesses sufficient magical power. Potara fusion creates warriors significantly stronger than either individual participant. The process doesn't simply add power levels together. The fusion multiplies the combined strength to produce results far beyond basic addition. Vegito could defeat Super Buu with ease despite the monster absorbing Ultimate Gohan. The fusion's power eclipsed anything Goku or Vegeta could achieve individually even at their strongest forms. Rival Boost provides additional power multiplication when rivals fuse. Goku and Vegeta represent perfect rivals who constantly push each other to greater heights. Their fusion through Potara earrings activates a special boost that multiplies their already impressive combined power even further. This rival boost helps explain why Vegito reaches such astronomical strength levels. The effect makes Goku and Vegeta's fusion particularly devastating compared to fusions between non-rival participants. The fused being inherits techniques and abilities from both participants. Vegito can use Goku's instant transmission and Kamehameha, along with Vegeta's Final Flash and Big Bang attack. The fusion creates entirely new techniques by combining elements from both warriors. Final Kamehameha merges Vegeta's Final Flash with Goku's Kamehameha into a devastating combination attack. Spirit Sword represents a completely original technique that neither Goku nor Vegeta possessed individually. Personality traits blend together in interesting ways during Potara fusion. Vegito takes after Vegeta more than Goku in terms of fighting style and attitude. The fusion displays Vegeta's pride and arrogance while mocking opponents throughout battles. Vegito enjoys demonstrating his overwhelming superiority rather than finishing fights quickly. This personality mirrors Vegeta's approach to combat, despite Goku's influence also affecting the fusion's behavior and decision-making. Clothing fuses along with the participants' bodies during Potara fusion. Vegito wears a combination of Goku's gi and Vegeta's armor. The outfit merges design elements from both warriors into a single distinctive costume. This differs from Metamoran fusion dance, which forces fused warriors to wear traditional Metamoran clothing regardless of what the participants wore before merging. Potara earrings don't require equal power levels between fusion participants. The fusion dance demands that both warriors suppress or raise their strength to match perfectly. Even slight power imbalances cause failed fusions that create weak, useless warriors. Potara fusion works regardless of power differences between participants. Goku could theoretically fuse with much weaker allies and still produce a successful fusion. The resulting warrior might not reach the same heights as fusing with an equal partner. But the fusion would still function properly without the risk of catastrophic failure. The permanence retcon for Mortal Potara fusion changed strategic calculations significantly. Vegeta no longer fears being stuck as Vegito forever. The 1-hour time limit makes Potara fusion a viable emergency option rather than a permanent sacrifice. Goku and Vegeta can fuse confidently, knowing they will separate automatically after 60 minutes. This knowledge makes them more willing to use the technique during desperate situations. Yet the power consumption limitation creates new concerns that didn't exist under old permanent fusion rules. Vegito must finish battles quickly before running out of time. Using Super Saiyan Blue cuts available duration drastically. Strong opponents who survive the initial assault can potentially outlast the fusion timer. These tactical considerations make Potara fusion less reliable than it initially seemed despite being easier to perform than the fusion dance. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on, we have fusion dance mechanics. Fusion dance mechanics. Fusion dance represents pure mathematical precision, translated into physical movement. The Metamoran race developed this technique to merge two warriors into a single superior being. Goku learned the dance while training in Otherworld after the Cell Games. He mastered the complex movements and brought the knowledge back to teach others. Unlike Potara fusion, which requires only wearing earrings, the fusion dance demands absolute perfection in execution. Every detail matters, every movement counts. One wrong finger position destroys the entire fusion. The technique works by combining two fighters into a warrior stronger than simple addition suggests. The resulting power gets multiplied several times over, rather than just adding the participants' strength together. This multiplication effect makes fusion dance incredibly valuable despite its strict requirements. But achieving that power boost requires meeting specific conditions that leave no room for error. Power level equality stands as the most important requirement. Both participants must suppress or raise their energy to match each other exactly. Even tiny differences in ki prevent successful fusion. Goku and Vegeta face this challenge constantly because their power levels fluctuate based on training and transformations. The stronger fighter must lower their energy to match their partner perfectly. This suppression wastes potential power but remains absolutely necessary for fusion to work. Physical similarity creates another crucial requirement. The participants need roughly equal height and build. Massive size differences prevent the dance from functioning properly. Goku explained this limitation when considering various fusion partners. He couldn't fuse with Dende because the Namekian's small stature differed too dramatically from Goku's adult Saiyan physique. Even Goku and Vegeta push the size limit since Vegeta stands noticeably shorter than Goku. Their fusion works because the height gap remains small enough to allow the technique. The dance itself consists of a specific series of poses performed in perfect synchronization. Both participants mirror each other completely. They move simultaneously through identical positions. The movements combine traditional fighting stances with water ballet, according to Goku's explanation. Goku described visualizing two rivers flowing toward each other. The rivers get closer as they approach. They converge at two single points. The points collapse under pressure. The two rivers flow into each other and become one. The final pose requires both participants to extend their arms and point their index fingers toward each other. The fingertips must meet at exactly the same height and angle. This finger connection completes the fusion. If the fingers miss or connect improperly, the fusion fails catastrophically. Even breathing must synchronize perfectly throughout the entire dance. One participant breathing out while the other breathes in creates enough disruption to ruin everything. Failed fusions produce horrifying results that trap both participants for 30 minutes. The most common failure creates an obese fusion with severely limited capabilities. Fat Gotenks demonstrated this problem when Trunks extended his fingers at the wrong moment during the pose. The resulting warrior could barely run without getting winded immediately. Yamcha initially thought the fat body helped regulate power, similar to Majin Buu's physique. That hope vanished quickly when Fat Gotenks tired, after a brief slow jog. The fat fusion retains almost no combat ability whatsoever. Fat Gotenks couldn't perform special attacks. His movement slowed to a crawl. His endurance disappeared completely. The excess weight prevented effective fighting entirely. Chi-Chi looked at Skinny Gotenks and declared she couldn't love that form. Master Roshi asked why not, since Skinny Gotenks matched his age. Krillin corrected him, noting that Skinny Gotenks appeared even older than Roshi, despite being made from two young boys. Veku represents the failed fusion between Goku and Vegeta. King Kai blamed Vegeta for the mistake, claiming Vegeta failed to extend his index finger properly. The resulting fat warrior possessed extremely limited ki and stamina. Veku couldn't perform any special ki attacks due to these limitations. His fat body prevented punching and kicking effectively. Instead, Veku could only pass gas and run away using his surprisingly fast rabbit feet technique. South Kai mockingly named him Veku as a joke about the failed fusion. Dragon Ball Super Broly showed Goku and Vegeta failing fusion twice before succeeding. Their first attempt produced Fat Veku because Goku's finger slipped below Vegeta's finger during the final pose. The second failure created an extremely skinny version of Veku. Goku tilted at a 45-degree angle, while Vegeta tilted at 60 degrees. This asymmetry produced a skeletal, thin fusion, even weaker than the fat version. Only their third attempt with perfect synchronization finally produced Gogeta successfully. Dragon Ball GT changed how failed fusions work. In GT, the fusion process cancels entirely before completion if the dance gets performed incorrectly. The participants simply remain separate rather than creating weak abominations. This change makes the dance less risky but doesn't reduce the difficulty of performing it correctly. Mastering the technique still requires extensive practice and perfect execution every single time. Successful fusion lasts exactly 30 minutes under normal conditions. After half an hour passes, the fusion automatically ends regardless of the participants' wishes. This time limit creates serious strategic problems during extended battles. The fused warrior must defeat their opponent before running out of time. If 30 minutes expire during combat, the fusion splits and leaves two exhausted fighters facing a fresh enemy. Powerful transformations dramatically reduce the 30-minute limit. Super Saiyan 3 cuts available, fusion time down to just 5 minutes. The massive energy drain from that transformation consumes fusion stability rapidly. Gotenks discovered this limitation while fighting Super Buu inside the hyperbolic time chamber. He transformed into Super Saiyan 3 to escape the dimension after Piccolo destroyed the doorway. The transformation gave Gotenks enough power to tear holes through reality itself, but the fusion lasted only 5 minutes in that state before separating. Super Saiyan 4 creates even worse time restrictions. Gogeta's fusion as Super Saiyan 4 lasted approximately 10 minutes or less while battling Omega Shenron in Dragon Ball GT. The immense strain from that transformation crushed fusion duration even more severely than Super Saiyan 3. This pattern shows that fusion time decreases proportionally to how much power the fusion consumes. Stronger transformations burn through fusion stability faster. After fusion ends naturally or prematurely, both participants must wait before attempting to fuse again. Goku mentioned this cooldown period when first teaching the dance to Goten and Trunks. The exact wait time depends on how much energy the fusion consumed. Normal fusions require waiting a while before attempting another merge. The series doesn't always show this waiting period because it happens off-screen between battles. Super Saiyan 3 fusion apparently requires a full 1 hour cooldown. Gotenks told Super Buu that he would need to wait another hour before fusing again. Super Buu absorbed Gotenks and explained to Gohan that he needed to wait an hour before the kids could become Super Gotenks again. This extended cooldown possibly reflects the severe energy drain from using Super Saiyan 3 while fused. The participants' bodies need extra recovery time after such intense power consumption. Failed fusions follow different cooldown rules. The participants can attempt fusion immediately after a failed merge ends. This exception exists because failed fusions barely consume any energy. The weak bodies produced by incorrect dances can't fight effectively or use transformations. They simply wait out the 30-minute duration doing nothing useful. Since no real power gets expended, the participants recover quickly enough to try again right away. The fused warrior wears distinctive Metamoran clothing, regardless of what the participants wore before merging. The outfit consists of a vest with padding around the neck and shoulders. The vest color scheme varies between fusions. Gotenks wears yellow padding while Gogeta sports reddish-orange padding. Dark pants complete the uniform. This automatic clothing change differentiates fusion dance from Potara fusion, which combines the participants' original outfits. The fused warrior's appearance combines features from both participants. Hairstyle blends characteristics from each fighter. Gotenks has Trunks' purple hair color and facial features mixed with elements from Goten. Gogeta displays Vegeta's widow's peak, combined with spiky hair similar to Goku's style. The fusion creates a unique individual, rather than simply copying one participant's appearance. Personality also merges in interesting ways. The fused warrior exhibits traits from both participants simultaneously. Gotenks shows Goten's playfulness combined with Trunks' arrogance. This creates an incredibly cocky character who constantly underestimates opponents and wastes time showing off. Piccolo noted this problem repeatedly when training Gotenks. The fusion's overconfidence came from multiplying two already cocky children together into one ultra-arrogant warrior. Gogeta displays similar personality blending, though perhaps more balanced. He combines Goku's love of fighting with Vegeta's serious approach to battle. Gogeta fights confidently without Gotenks' excessive showboating. The adult participants' greater maturity probably contributes to Gogeta's more focused personality. Yet Gogeta still shows cocky moments that wouldn't appear in either Goku or Vegeta individually. The fusion creates a warrior who can access transformations neither participant achieved alone. Gotenks reach Super Saiyan 3, despite Goten and Trunks never attaining that form individually. This capability confused fans who expected limitations based on the participants' maximum power. Gotenks proved that fusion unlocks potential beyond what either warrior possessed separately. He achieved Super Saiyan 3 after watching Goku transform just once. Goten and Trunks practiced the fusion dance extensively before attempting it during real battles. Piccolo supervised their training and corrected their mistakes. The boys failed numerous times initially. They created fat and skinny versions repeatedly before finally executing the dance perfectly. This practice proved essential because attempting fusion for the first time during combat would almost certainly fail. The stress of battle makes maintaining perfect synchronization extremely difficult. Goku taught Vegeta the fusion dance during the Janemba crisis. Vegeta initially refused to learn what he considered a ridiculous technique. Pride prevented him from performing the silly-looking poses required. But desperation against Janemba's overwhelming power convinced Vegeta to try. Their first attempt failed because Vegeta's reluctance caused imperfect execution. Veku resulted from that mistake. Only after defusing and trying again did they create Gogeta successfully. The fusion multiplies power levels far beyond simple addition. Exact multiplier values remain debated among fans. The series never provides specific numbers for how much stronger fusion makes the combined warrior. Gotenks clearly exceeds Goten's and Trunks' power added together. The multiplication appears significant enough to jump multiple power tiers instantly. Base Gotenks surpassed Super Saiyan Goten and Super Saiyan Trunks fighting individually. Some estimates suggest the fusion multiplies the participants' combined power by factors ranging from dozens to hundreds of times. The exact boost probably varies based on multiple factors. Rival relationships might provide additional multipliers similar to Potara Fusion's rival boost. Goku and Vegeta's intense rivalry could amplify their fusion beyond what equal power participants without rivalry history would achieve. Fusion dance offers major advantages despite its strict requirements and time limits. The technique works for virtually any race, unlike Namekian fusion, which only Namekians can use. Any two warriors of similar size and power can learn the dance regardless of species. This universal applicability makes it incredibly valuable for creating emergency power boosts during desperate situations. The fusion doesn't require special items like Potara earrings. Warriors can perform the dance anywhere, anytime, as long as they know the movements. No, Supreme Kai needs to provide accessories. No waiting for divine intervention, just two fighters performing synchronized poses. This independence makes fusion dance more accessible than Potara fusion for regular mortals. Yet fusion dance's weaknesses create serious limitations. The perfect execution requirement means stressed or injured warriors often fail. The 30-minute time limit forces rush strategies. Failed fusions waste precious time. The 1-hour cooldown prevents repeated attempts. These drawbacks make fusion dance unreliable in many combat scenarios despite its impressive power multiplication. The technique demands extensive practice and perfect conditions for success. Goten and Trunks spent weeks training the dance before achieving consistent results. Even then, they occasionally failed when distracted or out of practice. Dragon Ball Superhero showed older Goten forgetting the proper form. His mistake created fat Gotenks who charged Cell Max and accomplished nothing except a lucky headbutt. Fusion dance represents mathematical precision because every variable must align perfectly. Power levels match exactly. Heights fall within acceptable ranges. Dance movements synchronize completely. Finger positions connect accurately. Breathing patterns align. Mental focus remains sharp. Any single variable failing destroys the entire fusion. This mathematical requirement makes fusion dance the most technical power-up technique in Dragon Ball, despite seeming like simple choreography. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to Ultra Instinct's true nature. Ultra Instinct's true nature. Ultra Instinct represents something completely different from every power-up Dragon Ball introduced before. Most transformations like Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan Blue change the fighter's body through raw power. Hair changes color, muscles bulge, auras flare. These transformations multiply strength through biological changes. Ultra Instinct works nothing like that. Ultra Instinct functions as a divine technique rather than a transformation. The technique allows the body to move and react completely independently from conscious thought. Understanding Ultra Instinct requires understanding how normal fighting works. Every living being processes actions through their brain first. Someone throws a punch. The target's eyes see the punch. The brain processes that visual information. The brain sends signals telling the body to dodge. The body finally moves to avoid the attack. This entire process takes time. Even the fastest fighters lose precious milliseconds thinking about their movements. Those milliseconds create openings enemies can exploit. Ultra Instinct eliminates thinking entirely. The body moves on pure instinct alone. Someone throws a punch. The body dodges automatically without waiting for the brain. No processing. No thinking. No delays. Each body part acts independently with perfect precision. The fighter achieves optimal movements without conscious control. This separation between mind and body creates fighting ability beyond normal limits. Whis first mentioned Ultra Instinct when training Goku and Vegeta before Frieza's revival. Whis explained the concept simply. Most fighters think about their next move during battle. That thinking slows them down. The ultimate goal for any martial artist involves achieving movement without thought, letting the body judge situations and react automatically. Whis demonstrated this principle constantly during sparring sessions. Goku and Vegeta attacked with everything they had. Whis dodged every strike effortlessly without even looking. He never broke a sweat. He sometimes ate food while avoiding their attacks. His body moved perfectly on its own. The Tournament of Power provided Goku's first real experience with Ultra Instinct. Universe 7 faced elimination if they lost. 8 universes competed. 80 warriors fought on a massive stage. The losing universes would be erased completely by Zeno. Goku faced an opponent named Jiren from Universe 11. Jiren possessed power beyond anything Goku encountered before. Even Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken times 20 couldn't touch him. Jiren blocked and countered every attack with minimal effort. Goku decided to use his ultimate technique. He gathered energy from his teammates to create the Spirit Bomb. This massive sphere of blue energy contained power from multiple warriors. Goku launched it at Jiren, hoping to eliminate him. Jiren casually pushed the Spirit Bomb back toward Goku instead. The two forces clashed violently. Goku tried resisting with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20. The Spirit Bomb kept coming anyway. The sphere compressed into a singularity. The entire arena shook. The concentrated energy exploded with Goku at the center. Everyone assumed Goku died. His energy signature vanished completely. The Grand Priest declared the fight over. Goku's teammates searched desperately for any sign of him. Nothing appeared initially. Then something impossible happened. Goku emerged from the explosion in a completely new state. His hair maintained its normal black color, but gained silver highlights. His eyes turned silver. A brilliant blue aura surrounded him. His body emitted intense heat. Most importantly, his energy felt completely different. Even the gods of destruction recognized what happened immediately. Whis explained the phenomenon. The Spirit Bomb's massive energy acted as a temporary power source for Goku's depleted body. When that enormous power clashed with Goku's own energy resisting it, something broke inside him. He shattered through his self-limiting shell. He accessed the deeper potential within himself. That breakthrough triggered Ultra Instinct for the first time. The form appeared incomplete. Goku could only access the defensive aspects. His body dodged automatically. He moved without thinking. But his attacks still required conscious effort. This initial state became known as Ultra Instinct Sign, the incomplete version of the technique. Goku's body reacted to threats instinctively, but he couldn't attack the same way. He landed solid hits on Jiren, who never took damage before. Jiren actually got knocked down twice. The sheer power shocked everyone watching. Gods of destruction expressed disbelief that a mortal achieved this state. Even they struggled to use Ultra Instinct, despite training for millions of years. Beerus himself spent countless ages trying to master it without success. The form had major drawbacks, though. Goku's body generated extreme heat from the strain. The heat increased constantly. Eventually, the transformation destabilized. Goku's energy depleted rapidly. The silver highlights faded. His hair returned to normal black. His body gave out completely. He collapsed from exhaustion. The technique drained his stamina far too quickly. Mortals who haven't trained sufficiently can't maintain Ultra Instinct. Their bodies can't handle the stress. Goku accessed Ultra Instinct Sign again later during the tournament. He fought Kefla, a fusion of two female Saiyans from Universe 6. Kefla's power in Super Saiyan form rivaled the Spirit Bomb that triggered Ultra Instinct originally. That overwhelming energy pushed Goku past his limits again. He broke through his shell once more. The silver highlights returned. His movements became completely instinctive. This time, Goku showed more control. He could talk normally while fighting. He explained the technique to Kefla as he dodged her attacks. His body moved independently while his mind stayed conscious. Kefla couldn't land a single hit despite using tremendous power. Her attacks passed through empty air repeatedly. Goku's body positioned itself perfectly every time. He counterattacked with devastating force. His punches sent her flying across the arena. However, his offensive power still fell short. He couldn't knock her out with normal attacks. The incomplete Ultra Instinct couldn't utilize both defense and offense simultaneously. Goku needed the completed version to achieve true mastery. The final showdown with Jiren forced Goku beyond Ultra Instinct sign. Jiren unleashed his full power, threatening everyone. Goku needed something more to protect his teammates and universe. He focused his heart and soul completely. Every fiber of his being aligned toward one goal. He broke through his final shell. His hair transformed completely silver. His aura changed from blue to an intense mixture of blue and white. His entire presence radiated divine energy. He achieved perfected Ultra Instinct, also called Mastered Ultra Instinct. This completed form gave Goku complete mastery of the technique. Both defensive and offensive capabilities activated simultaneously. His body dodged automatically like before. But now his attacks flowed with the same unconscious precision. He didn't think about punching. His fist moved automatically to optimal positions. Every strike landed with devastating effectiveness. Jiren, who dominated the tournament, suddenly faced overwhelming pressure. Goku's speed became incomprehensible. His power shook the entire Null Realm where the tournament occurred. The physical appearance changed dramatically in this perfected state. Goku's hair maintained its spiky Super Saiyan shape but turned completely silver white. His eyes glowed silver. His shirt disintegrated from the intense energy. The aura surrounding him pulsed with black and white energy. His voice remained calm and controlled, unlike the rage-filled Super Saiyan forms. The transformation emphasized serenity rather than aggression. Achieving Ultra Instinct requires perfect emotional control, not explosive power. Angels exist in the perfected Ultra Instinct state constantly. Whis uses it naturally without transforming. Every angel across all 12 universes maintains this state permanently. Their bodies always move independently from thought. This explains why Whis never struggles during fights. His feet think for themselves. His hands react automatically. He once stepped in dog poop because his feet couldn't sense through his shoes. His feet themselves couldn't detect the poop to avoid it. This demonstrates how completely automatic their movements become. Beerus explained angels don't transform into Ultra Instinct. They simply exist that way naturally. Ultra Instinct represents the natural state of being for angels. They possess perfect stability of heart and mind constantly, no emotional turbulence, no mental distractions, complete serenity at all times. This permanent state makes angels the strongest beings in the multiverse, besides Zeno. Even gods of destruction who trained for millions of years can't defeat angels. The power difference remains absolutely massive. The Grand Priest demonstrates the highest level of Ultra Instinct mastery. Whis himself admitted the Grand Priest's ability surpasses his own. Whis also noted his mastery exceeds Maris, who trained Goku later. Different users show varying degrees of accuracy with the technique. Goku ranks at the absolute bottom of this ladder. He can use Ultra Instinct, but his version remains far less refined than any angel. The technique offers room for endless growth and improvement. Combining Ultra Instinct with Super Saiyan forms increases its accuracy. Goku discovered this during later battles. Using Super Saiyan God while employing Ultra Instinct principles improved his reactions. The combination provided better precision than base form Ultra Instinct alone. Super Saiyan Blue, stacked with Ultra Instinct, proved even more effective. The divine transformation amplified the technique's natural abilities. However, transforming requires extra energy and creates additional stamina drain. Mastering Ultra Instinct presents extreme difficulty. Gods of Destruction trained for millions of years without achieving mastery. Beerus, the god of destruction for Universe 7, trained constantly. He still hasn't mastered the technique fully. He can use certain aspects during desperate situations. He dodged attacks from multiple gods of destruction simultaneously using incomplete Ultra Instinct. But his mastery remains far from complete. The emotional control required doesn't suit his temperament. Gods of destruction harness destructive emotions. Ultra Instinct demands the opposite. Vegeta realized Ultra Instinct didn't match his fighting style. He thinks constantly during battle. He analyzes opponents. He plans strategies. His entire approach involves aggressive, calculated combat. Attempting Ultra Instinct proved counterproductive for his personality. He eventually chose a different path entirely. He trained in destruction energy, instead developing Ultra Ego. That form suited his aggressive Saiyan instincts much better. Not every fighter can use Ultra Instinct effectively. The technique differs fundamentally from Super Saiyan transformations. Super Saiyan activates through rage and emotional turmoil. Explosive anger triggers the transformation. Each subsequent Super Saiyan form builds on that aggressive foundation. Ultra Instinct requires the exact opposite. Rage prevents Ultra Instinct from working. Strong emotions like grief or joy interfere with the technique. Achieving Ultra Instinct demands self-control when facing emotional shocks. The user must maintain perfect composure under extreme stress. Maris, the trainee angel, taught Goku this principle directly. He explained how Ultra Instinct functions opposite to Super Saiyan. Saiyan transformations channel powerful emotions into strength. Ultra Instinct activates through perfect emotional control, despite overwhelming circumstances. Goku needed to achieve inner peace even when facing terrible situations. Watching Mirror's sacrifice himself helped Goku understand. The shock and grief could have overwhelmed him. Instead, he maintained clarity of spirit. That emotional mastery allowed him to access perfected Ultra Instinct consciously. The massive stamina drain creates major problems for mortal users. Angels use Ultra Instinct constantly without tiring. Their bodies adapted completely to the technique. Mortals lack that natural adaptation. Using Ultra Instinct forces the body beyond its normal limits. Every instinctive movement drains energy. Maintaining the transformation consumes enormous amounts of ki. Goku's body gave out repeatedly after using Ultra Instinct. He experienced horrific pain when the form destabilized. His muscles cramped. His energy depleted completely. He risked death from overexertion. Whis explained that proper training could overcome the stamina problem. Goku needed to use Ultra Instinct without transforming. The transformation itself caused much of the stamina drain. If Goku mastered the technique in his base form, the energy consumption would decrease dramatically. Angels never transform because they maintain Ultra Instinct constantly. Goku eventually learned to access Ultra Instinct in base form by closing his eyes. This allowed him to use the technique without the full transformation stamina cost. However, his base form version provided less power than the transformed state. Combining regular transformations with Ultra Instinct became Goku's solution. He could stack Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue with Ultra Instinct principles. This provided more power than base Ultra Instinct without the complete stamina drain of perfected Ultra Instinct. The hybrid approach balanced effectiveness against sustainability. Goku continued developing his personal style of Ultra Instinct rather than copying Angels exactly. Whis encouraged this individual development. Every user should create their own approach to the technique. True Ultra Instinct emerged as Goku's evolved version. He achieved Ultra Instinct while maintaining emotional connection. Traditional Ultra Instinct requires complete emotional detachment. Goku found a way to use the technique while feeling anger or determination. His black hair gained silver highlights similar to Ultra Instinct sign, but this version allowed conscious emotion alongside instinctive movement. This became Goku's unique interpretation of the technique. He adapted Ultra Instinct to suit his Saiyan nature rather than fighting against his personality. Ultra Instinct represents the ultimate martial arts technique. Every master throughout Dragon Ball history sought to eliminate wasted movement. Master Roshi briefly used similar principles, dodging attacks without thinking. His version remained far inferior to true Ultra Instinct, but the core concept appeared throughout martial arts philosophy, letting the body move without mental interference, achieving perfect instinctive reactions. Ultra Instinct takes that ancient principle to its absolute peak. The technique exists on a completely different level from any power-up before it. Super Saiyan multiplies strength through biological changes. Kaioken forces the body beyond safe limits temporarily. Fusion combines two warriors into one. Ultra Instinct fundamentally alters how fighting works. It changes the relationship between mind and body. It elevates martial arts beyond conscious thought into pure instinct. This makes Ultra Instinct the pinnacle of combat technique. Not just more power, but perfect execution without thinking. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to Super Dragon Balls. Super Dragon Balls. The Super Dragon Balls represent the original Dragon Balls from which all others descended. These massive spheres dwarf everything else in Dragon Ball. Each Super Dragon Ball measures approximately 37,196 kilometers in diameter. That size makes them roughly 27 times larger than planet Earth. Calling them planet-sized understates their immense scale. They literally are planets unto themselves. Normal Dragon Balls fit comfortably in someone's hand. Super Dragon Balls require spaceships just to approach them properly. The Dragon God Zalama created the Super Dragon Balls in year 41 of the Divine Calendar. This timeline exists separate from the age calendar Dragon Ball uses for most events. The Divine Calendar predates everything else in Dragon Ball chronology. Zalama crafted these 7 massive spheres using his divine power. Each ball contains between 1 and 7 stars visible on its surface. These star markings appear identical from every possible viewing angle. Normal spheres show different perspectives when viewed from different positions. The stars on Super Dragon Balls defy this natural law completely. Zalama patented the technology behind these unchanging star marks in year 42 of the Divine Calendar. He developed a special refraction technique, making the stars appear constant regardless of position. This seemingly minor detail demonstrates the incredible craftsmanship behind the Super Dragon Balls. Even their visual appearance required divine engineering beyond mortal comprehension. The balls themselves glow with light yellow coloring. The star marks shine brilliant red against this golden surface. Their appearance resembles normal Dragon Balls, scaled up to incomprehensible proportions. The Super Dragon Balls scatter across 2 entire universes after granting wishes. Universe 6 and Universe 7 each contain some of the balls at any given time. These universes exist as twin pairs in Dragon Ball cosmology. Each numbered universe has a corresponding partner that adds up to 13. Universe. 6 pairs with Universe 7. The Super Dragon Balls uniquely span both these universes rather than existing in just one. This scattering mechanism makes collecting them extraordinarily difficult. Regular Dragon Balls scatter across a single planet. Finding 7 items on one world presents manageable challenges. Finding 7 planet-sized objects scattered across 2 separate universes requires godly resources. Summoning Super Shenron requires speaking the divine language. This ancient tongue belongs exclusively to deities. Angels speak it naturally. Gods of destruction can learn it. Regular mortals lack any ability to understand or speak divine language. The summoning phrase translates roughly to "Come forth, dragon of the gods, and grant my wish, pretty peas." The Funimation English dub changes this slightly to "Come forth, divine dragon, and grant my wish, peas and carrots." The phrase sounds somewhat silly, even for Dragon Ball standards, but the divine language requirement ensures only those with divine connections can use the Super Dragon Balls. Whis and the Grand Minister both speak divine language fluently. They serve as interpreters when mortals win the Super Dragon Balls. The wisher must also state their actual wish in divine language for Super Shenron to grant it. This double language barrier prevents unauthorized use. Even if someone managed gathering all 7 Super Dragon Balls, they still need a divine translator. This safeguard keeps ultimate cosmic power away from random mortals who stumble onto the balls. Super Shenron himself dwarfs entire galaxies. When summoned, his true form stretches across the space between Universe 6 and Universe 7. Multiple galaxies fit inside his body. His size surpasses mortal comprehension entirely. However, Super Shenron creates a smaller nucleus version of himself for granting wishes. This core manifestation appears much smaller, though still enormous by normal standards. Wishers communicate with this nucleus rather than his impossibly large true form. Beerus explained, the nucleus functions like a smaller interface for an incomprehensibly vast being. Super Shenron possesses golden coloring, unlike the green Shenron from Earth. His body shines brilliant yellow gold, his eyes glow crimson red. He sports large, bat-like wings instead of the feathery wings other dragons display. He completely lacks legs, unlike other eternal dragons. Spikes run along his tail. His design emphasizes his divine nature and separation from lesser dragons. Super Shenron represents the absolute pinnacle of eternal dragon power. Every other dragon pales beside him. The Super Dragon Balls grant literally any wish without limitations. Regular Dragon Balls have numerous restrictions. Earth Shenron cannot revive someone who died of natural causes. He cannot revive the same person twice. He cannot affect anyone stronger than his creator without their consent. Namek's Porunga shares similar restrictions, though slightly fewer than Shenron. Super Shenron faces absolutely zero limitations whatsoever. He can grant any conceivable wish regardless of scope or difficulty. Beerus stated someone could use Super Shenron to destroy an entire universe if they wished. The dragon possesses truly unlimited power. This unlimited nature makes the Super Dragon Balls the most valuable prize in the multiverse. Gods compete for them, mortals dream of obtaining them, even Zeno the Omni King uses them as tournament prizes. The Tournament of Destroyers between Universe 6 and Universe 7 featured the Super Dragon Balls as the grand prize. Champa desperately wanted them to switch the Earths between universes. His universe's Earth got destroyed, Universe 7's Earth remained intact. Champa planned using Super Shenron to swap them, giving his universe the better planet. Universe 7 won that tournament. Beerus claimed the right to make the wish. He secretly wished for Universe 6's Earth to be restored. He wanted his brother Champa to have his own Earth, despite their rivalry. Beerus lied about his wish afterward, claiming he wished for a more comfortable bed. He didn't want showing his soft side toward his brother. This demonstrated the Super Dragon Balls could restore entire destroyed planets without difficulty. An impossible wish for normal Dragon Balls became trivial for Super Shenron. Zamasu used the Super Dragon Balls for his evil plans later. He traveled to the future using a time ring. He gathered the Super Dragon Balls across both universes. He wished to switch bodies with Goku. Super Shenron granted this impossible wish instantly. Zamasu stole Goku's body, becoming Goku Black. The manga revealed Zamasu initially made a mistake. He thought Monaka was stronger than Goku after seeing the Tournament of Destroyers. He first wished to swap bodies with Monaka. Super Shenron granted that wish. Zamasu realized his error immediately. Monaka's body was pathetically weak. Zamasu corrected his mistake, wishing to swap with Goku properly the second time. Future Zamasu also used his timeline's Super Dragon Balls. He wished for complete immortality. Super Shenron granted absolute unkillable immortality. Zamasu literally could not die afterward. Goku and Vegeta destroyed his body completely. His essence fused with the universe itself, maintaining existence. Only Zeno erasing the entire timeline finally stopped him. This wish demonstrated Super Shenron granting truly permanent immortality. Regular Dragon Balls grant resurrection, but Super Shenron grants genuine deathlessness. Goku Black and Future Zamasu destroyed Future Trunks' timeline's Super Dragon Balls after getting their wishes. They killed Future Super Shenron in the process. This prevented anyone from using the Super Dragon Balls against them. The act demonstrated Super Dragon Balls can be destroyed despite their godly nature. However, destroying them required the combined power of an immortal god and a being with Goku's stolen body. Regular mortals could never hope damaging the Super Dragon Balls. The Tournament of Power featured the Super Dragon Balls as the ultimate prize again. 8 universes competed, 80 warriors fought. The losing universes faced complete erasure by Zeno. Android 17 remained the last fighter standing after everyone else fell. The Grand Minister summoned Super Shenron using divine language. 17 made a simple wish. He asked for all erased universes to be restored. Super Shenron effortlessly brought back multiple entire universes with all their planets and inhabitants. This feat far exceeded anything other Dragon Balls could accomplish. Restoring entire universal timelines demonstrated truly unlimited power. The Grand Minister's phrasing left some ambiguity. He told Super Shenron to restore all erased universes. Universes 13 through 18 were erased before the Tournament of Power. Zeno destroyed them years earlier. The series never clarified whether Super Shenron restored those 6 additional universes or just the 8 from the tournament. The wish's wording suggested all erased universes came back, but only the 8 tournament universes appeared on screen afterward. This minor mystery remains unresolved. After granting wishes, the Super Dragon Balls become inactive for 1 year. The series specifically states they require the lifespan of a cockroach to recharge. This equals 1 standard year. During this dormant period, the balls lose their light appearing dim. They cannot grant wishes until the full year passes. This cooldown period represents the only limitation on the Super Dragon Balls. Even divine artifacts need recovery time after unleashing unlimited cosmic power. The Super Dragon Balls scatter throughout Universe 6 and Universe 7 after each use. Zalama programmed this scattering behavior deliberately. The balls never remain in one location. They drift through space seeking new positions across 2 universes. This makes gathering them, again, incredibly difficult. Someone must search 2 entire universes for 7 planet-sized objects. The nameless planet that hosted the Tournament of Destroyers was actually the disguised final Super Dragon Ball. Nobody knows how it obtained material to hide its true nature. This mystery adds intrigue to the Super Dragon Ball's nature. Namekians discovered the Super Dragon Balls in the distant past. They recognized the immense power these artifacts contained. Being naturally gifted with magic and spiritual energy, the Namekians studied the Super Dragon Balls intensely. They carved small pieces from one of the massive spheres. This act didn't damage the Super Dragon Ball significantly given its planetary scale. A chip from something that large still provides substantial material. The Namekians studied these fragments for countless years. They eventually decoded the principles behind Dragon Ball creation. This breakthrough allowed Namekians creating their own Dragon Balls. Their versions measured far smaller than the originals. A Namekian Dragon Ball reaches basketball size compared to planet size. The power also decreased dramatically. Namekian Dragon Balls grant wishes with various limitations, unlike Super Shenron's unlimited capability. However, Namekians successfully replicated the core technology. They created genuine wish-granting artifacts based on Super Dragon Ball principles. This achievement demonstrated remarkable magical skill and dedication. Different Namekians created different Dragon Ball sets as they traveled. The Namekian, who became Kami, came to Earth. He created Earth's Dragon Balls, summoning the Green Dragon Shenron. Other Namekians remained on planet Namek. Their Dragon Balls summoned Purunga, the Dragon of Dreams. Monaito on planet Serial created yet another set. Each set varied slightly in power and restrictions, but all descended from the original Super Dragon Ball technology. The Namekians essentially reverse-engineered divine artifacts, creating mortal versions. Both Shenron and Purunga were modeled after Super Shenron. Their basic designs copy his Eternal Dragon template, the long serpentine body, the glowing eyes, the ability to grant wishes. These core elements trace directly to Super Shenron. However, the copies differ significantly in appearance and power. Shenron appears green, not golden. Purunga looks more muscular and imposing. Both measure building size, not galaxy-sized. Their wish-granting abilities pale compared to Super Shenron's unlimited power. But their fundamental nature as eternal dragons comes from Super Shenron's template. The Super Dragon Balls represent Zalama's ultimate creation. His power level remains unknown. The series never shows Zalama directly. He exists only through references and legends. Creating artifacts capable of granting literally any wish suggests incomprehensible power. Even gods of destruction cannot create such items. Supreme Kais cannot replicate this feat. Only Zalama possessed sufficient mastery over reality itself. Whether Zalama was Namekian remains unclear. Many fans theorize he belonged to an ancient Namekian race. The connection between Zalama and Namekians would explain their ability reverse engineering his work, but official sources never confirmed Zalama's species. Master Zeno provided most information about the Super Dragon Balls. He possesses knowledge about everything in the universe. Bulma and Jaco visited him seeking Super Dragon Ball locations. Zeno explained their history and properties in detail. He revealed Zalama's name and the Divine Calendar timeline. His omniscient knowledge made finding the final Super Dragon Ball possible. Without Zeno's information gathering, all 7 would prove nearly impossible. Even gods struggled locating them before Zeno's help. The Super Dragon Balls fundamentally changed Dragon Ball's power scaling. Previously, Dragon Balls granted useful but limited wishes. Reviving dead friends, restoring destroyed planets. Useful certainly, but within comprehensible bounds. Super Shenron grants literally anything, switching bodies between gods and mortals, creating absolute immortality. Restoring multiple erased universes simultaneously. These feats exist on completely different scales. The Super Dragon Balls represent truly ultimate power in Dragon Ball. Even Zeno respects them enough, using them as tournament prizes. This positions them among the most important artifacts in the franchise. Their existence ensures that despite constantly escalating power levels, there always remains one prize worth fighting for. The Super Dragon Balls grant wishes beyond even godly abilities, making them eternally relevant regardless of how strong characters become. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to limits of the Dragon Balls. Limits of the Dragon Balls. The Dragon Balls represent incredible power in the Dragon Ball universe. Gathering 7 magical orbs summons an eternal dragon capable of granting wishes. These wishes range from reviving the dead to restoring destroyed planets. However, despite their amazing abilities, the Dragon Balls possess hard limitations. These restrictions exist for important reasons. They prevent the Dragon Balls from becoming too powerful. They maintain balance in the universe. Understanding these limitations explains why certain problems cannot simply be wished away. The most fundamental limitation stems from the Dragon Ball's creation. Each dragon's power connects directly to whoever created their Dragon Balls. Kami created Earth's Dragon Balls. Therefore, Shenron cannot grant wishes exceeding Kami's power. Grand Elder Guru created Namek's Dragon Balls. Porunga cannot exceed Guru's power either. Later, when Dende replaced Kami as Earth's guardian, he recreated the Dragon Balls. Shenron then became tied to Dende's power instead. This creator limitation affects what wishes dragons can grant. The power limit manifests most clearly regarding killing or defeating enemies. During the Saiyan saga, the Z fighters considered using the Dragon Balls against Vegeta and Nappa. These Saiyans traveled to Earth, seeking the Dragon Balls in vengeance against Goku. The heroes wondered whether Shenron could simply destroy the invading Saiyans. They summoned Shenron, hoping for an easy solution. However, Shenron explained he could not kill Vegeta and Nappa. Their power exceeded Kami's power. Since Kami created the Dragon Balls, Shenron inherited that limitation. The dragon cannot harm anyone stronger than his creator. This rule prevents wishes from destroying powerful villains outright. This limitation applies regardless of how the wish phrases itself. Asking Shenron to kill Vegeta fails. Wishing Vegeta would disappear fails. Requesting Vegeta's power be removed fails. Any wish requiring force against someone stronger than the creator simply cannot work. The dragon recognizes these impossible requests immediately. Shenron informs the wisher before granting fails. This prevents wasted wishes on impossible tasks. The limitation exists as an absolute barrier. The power limitation serves crucial storytelling purposes. Without this restriction, Dragon Balls would solve every conflict instantly. Heroes facing powerful villains could simply wish them destroyed. Frieza threatening the universe, wish him dead. Cell absorbing androids, wish him gone. Majin Buu destroying planets, simple wish solves everything. Such easy solutions would eliminate all tension from the story. Battles become meaningless when wishes solve problems. Characters' growth through struggle loses importance. The power limitation forces heroes to actually fight their battles rather than wishing problems away. The limitation also creates interesting tactical decisions. Characters must determine whether wishes can help their situation. Against weaker enemies, wishes might work. Against stronger foes, other solutions become necessary. Sometimes, wishes help indirectly, even when direct action fails. Cannot wish Vegeta dead. Wish for Goku's revival instead. Cannot defeat Frieza through wishes. Wish everyone to safety while Goku fights. These creative wish uses demonstrate the limitation's narrative value. Death and revival represent another major area of Dragon Ball limitations. The Dragon Balls cannot revive someone who died from natural causes. Old age counts as natural causes. Disease counts as natural causes. Any death occurring naturally without external force cannot be reversed. This restriction prevents people from achieving effective immortality through repeated wishes. Someone dying of old age stays dead. The Dragon Balls cannot make that person young again and alive simultaneously. This limitation maintains stakes regarding mortality. Grand Elder Guru's death illustrated this limitation clearly. Guru died from the stress of Frieza's invasion of Namek. Technically, this made his death premature rather than purely natural. King Kai explained Guru could be revived because trauma caused his death, not pure old age. The distinction matters significantly. Dying from heart attack during battle, revivable. Dying peacefully in sleep from age, not revivable. The Dragon Balls judge each death's cause before permitting revival. Earth's Dragon Balls carry an additional revival restriction. Shenron cannot revive the same person twice. Once someone receives revival through Earth's Dragon Balls, that person cannot be revived by those specific Dragon Balls again. This rule was established when Krillin died the second time. He had been revived once before in the original Dragon Ball series. When Frieza killed Krillin on Namek, Shenron could not bring him back. The Z Fighters needed Namek's Dragon Balls instead because Porunga could revive the same person multiple times. This one revival rule prevents death from becoming completely meaningless. Characters knowing they get only one Dragon Ball revival face real consequences for dying. Death carries weight despite revival existing. The limitation forces strategic thinking about who gets revived when. Multiple heroes dead but only one wish available. Difficult choices emerge. Someone already revived once faces permanent death next time. These stakes maintain tension even with revival magic existing. The Namekian Dragon Balls function differently regarding revivals. Porunga can revive the same person repeatedly without restriction. However, Porunga's revivals work differently in another way. Originally, Porunga could only revive one person per wish. Shenron could revive unlimited people with one wish. Porunga grants 3 wishes instead of 1, but each wish revives only one individual. Later, Porunga received upgrades allowing mass revivals similar to Shenron. These different mechanics show how various Dragon Ball sets balance their powers. Time limits affect revivals significantly. Earth's Dragon Balls can only revive people who died within 1 year. Anyone dead longer than a year cannot return. This applies specifically to mass revivals. Individual revivals might work longer, but mass wishes require recent deaths. The 1-year limit prevents bringing back ancient civilizations or long-dead warriors. Deaths stay permanent after enough time passes. This limitation maintains historical consequences. Extinct races remain extinct. Long-past tragedies cannot be undone. The Dragon Balls themselves possess vulnerabilities, creating practical limitations. If the creator dies, the Dragon Balls turn to stone and become useless. When King Piccolo killed Kami during the King Piccolo saga, the Dragon Balls would have stopped working. Kami survived, but the threat existed. Later, when Kami fused with Piccolo to become stronger, the Earth Dragon Balls disappeared entirely. Dende needed to create new ones. This creator dependency means protecting the creator protects the Dragon Balls. The Dragon Balls also require time to recharge between uses. After granting wishes, they scatter across the planet and turn to stone. Earth's Dragon Balls need 365 days before working again. Namek's Dragon Balls only need 130 Earth days because Namek's year differs. During recharge periods, the Dragon Balls cannot grant wishes no matter what. This cooldown prevents rapid successive wishes solving every problem immediately. Villains destroying cities cannot wish repairs multiple times quickly. Heroes must live with consequences until recharge completes. Physical destruction threatens Dragon Balls despite their magical nature. While extremely durable, Dragon Balls can be destroyed, especially during their stone recharge period. King Piccolo destroyed Shenron directly after receiving his wish. This killed the dragon and prevented others from using wishes against him. The evil king then tried hunting down Dragon Balls to destroy them permanently. Such destruction eliminates Dragon Ball usage until creation happens anew. Gods and divine beings create special limitations for Dragon Balls. Shenron shows extreme deference toward Beerus, the god of destruction. When summoned in Beerus' presence, Shenron becomes nervous and fearful. He addresses Beerus with great respect and tries leaving quickly. This reaction occurs because Beerus possesses vastly more power than Dende, who created the current Dragon Balls. Beerus could easily destroy Shenron, Dende, and the Dragon Balls without effort. The god of destruction's mere presence intimidates the eternal dragon. The power differential between gods and Dragon Balls creates practical limitations. Wishes cannot affect beings like Beerus without their consent. Dende lacks power comparable to gods of destruction. Therefore, Shenron cannot force anything upon Beerus. Cannot wish Beerus dead. Cannot wish Beerus teleported away. Cannot wish Beerus sealed. Divine beings exist beyond Dragon Ball influence unless they permit it. This preserves cosmic hierarchy. Gods remain above wishes. Immortality grants through Dragon Balls, but with complications. Garlic Jr. successfully wished for immortality from Shenron. His wish granted absolute immunity to death. No attack could kill him. No aging affected him. True eternal life. However, immortality created its own problems. When Gohan knocked Garlic Jr. into the dead zone void, Garlic Jr. became trapped forever. His immortality prevented death, but not imprisonment. He exists eternally within nothingness, unable to escape or die. Kami stated Garlic Jr. would regret being immortal while trapped endlessly. This demonstrates how even successful wishes can backfire. The exact wording of wishes matters tremendously. Dragon Balls grant wishes literally based on phrasing used. Emperor Pilaf's gang wished for youth intending to become young adults. Instead, they became children because that is what youth meant literally. The dragons interpret wishes by exact words spoken, not underlying intent. This creates potential for misunderstandings and unintended results. Careful wording becomes essential when making wishes. Unclear requests might grant something different than desired. Certain transformations remain beyond Dragon Ball power. During the Android saga, Krillin wanted to turn androids 17 and 18 into humans. Shenron stated he could not grant this wish. The androids' modifications exceeded what Shenron could reverse. Whether because they started as humans modified by Dr. Garo, or because the modifications proved too complex, Shenron lacked power for this transformation. This shows limits even for seemingly simple requests. Fundamental changes to beings might prove impossible. The Dragon Balls cannot grant omniscience or unlimited knowledge. While dragons possess vast knowledge, they lack omniscience. Shenron knows the Super Saiyan God legend and ritual. However, he does not know everything about the universe. Asking impossible questions might receive no answer. The dragon's knowledge, while impressive, remains finite. They cannot explain things beyond their awareness. Super Shenron operates completely differently from other dragons. Created by Zalama, the dragon god, Super Shenron possesses unlimited power. He can grant literally any wish without restrictions. Whis speculated Super Shenron could kill even gods of destruction if wished. Beerus mentioned Super Shenron could destroy entire universes if desired. Android 17 wished for multiple erased universes restoration. Super Shenron accomplished this impossible feat easily. Trillions of beings across 8 universes returned instantly. This demonstrates Super Shenron's unlimited nature. However, Super Shenron carries his own limitations despite unlimited wish power. He only grants one wish per summoning, unlike other dragons who grant multiple wishes. Gathering Super Dragon Balls proves incredibly difficult. They exist as planet-sized objects scattered across multiple universes. Locating them requires vast resources and time. Speaking wishes requires the divine language known only to gods. These practical limitations restrict Super Shenron's accessibility, even though his power lacks limits. The limitations preserve cosmic balance in important ways. If Dragon Balls lacked restrictions, they would destabilize the universe. Unlimited revivals eliminate death's meaning entirely. Unlimited power wishes create godlike mortals, disrupting natural order. Unlimited scope allows wishing away fundamental universal laws. Such chaos would destroy everything. Therefore, limitations exist as necessary constraints maintaining reality's structure. These limitations also force characters' personal growth. Heroes cannot rely on wishes solving every problem. They must train, become stronger, and face challenges directly. Goku cannot wish himself strong enough to beat enemies. He must achieve strength through effort. This creates meaningful character development impossible if wishes solved everything. The journey matters more than convenient solutions. The Dragon Ball's restrictions create dramatic tension throughout the series. Viewers know revivals remain possible but not guaranteed. One revival limit means real stakes exist. Power limitations mean wishes cannot save the day alone. These constraints keep stories compelling despite magical wish granting existing. Without limitations, Dragon Balls would undermine storytelling rather than enhance it. Understanding Dragon Ball limitations explains many story events. Why not wish Frieza away? Power limit prevents it. Why not revive Goku after Cell? Goku asked to remain dead, and they honored his choice, though the Namekian Dragon Balls could have brought him back. Why not wish perfect solutions? Creator power restricts options. These explanations maintain internal consistency. The Dragon Balls follow consistent rules, preventing plot holes. The limitations also reflect deeper themes about power, responsibility, and consequences. Easy power through wishes proves limited and unreliable. True strength requires personal effort and growth. Death carries meaning despite revival options existing. These themes resonate throughout Dragon Ball's narrative philosophy. The limitations reinforce rather than contradict these core messages. Different Dragon Ball sets demonstrate various limitation balances. Earth's Dragon Balls grant one powerful wish with specific restrictions. Namek's Dragon Balls grant 3 weaker wishes with different restrictions. Super Dragon Balls grant one unlimited wish with accessibility restrictions. Cereal's Dragon Balls grant power wishes, but at life cost. This variety shows different approaches to balancing magical wish power. The limitations ultimately make Dragon Balls better storytelling tools. Unlimited wishes would trivialize conflicts and remove dramatic tension. Careful restrictions preserve stakes while adding magical elements. Characters must think strategically about wish usage. Viewers understand why certain solutions work while others fail. This creates rich storytelling possibilities impossible without limitations. The Dragon Balls cannot grant a wish that exceeds the creator's power. Kami's balls cannot destroy Frieza. Even Shenron cannot kill an immortal or force changes on gods or beings far stronger than his creator. Those wishes exceed his creator-linked power. That limitation preserves cosmic balance, prevents easy solutions, and maintains the stakes that make Dragon Ball's conflicts meaningful and memorable throughout the entire series. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Moving on to the Zeno Paradox. The Zeno Paradox. The multiverse in Dragon Ball Super operates under a terrifying truth. Everything exists solely because one being allows it. That being possesses absolute power over existence itself. He can erase anything instantly. Planets, galaxies, universes, timelines, all vanish with a simple gesture, yet this supreme ruler resembles a small child. He behaves like one too. This creates the fundamental Zeno Paradox. Ultimate cosmic authority wielded by someone with a childlike mind. Zeno rules as the Omni King. He governs all 12 universes comprising the Dragon Ball multiverse. His title translates literally as King of All. No being surpasses him in authority or power. Gods of destruction bow before him instantly. Supreme Kais address him with utmost reverence. Angels serve him without question. Even Beerus, who casually destroys planets, fears Zeno completely. Whis states, nobody in all existence possesses greater power. This establishes Zeno as the absolute pinnacle of the Dragon Ball hierarchy. However, 12 universes existed, not always. Originally, 18 universes filled the multiverse. Then 6 disappeared completely. Zeno erased them. The reason reveals his nature perfectly. According to Whis, Zeno destroyed 6 entire universes because he was in an unpleasant mood. A bad mood caused 6 universes containing trillions of lives to cease existing. The manga suggests Zeno thought 18 universes created too much work. Managing that, many proved bothersome. Either explanation demonstrates the casual nature of universe erasure under Zeno's rule. Entire realities vanish, based on his momentary feelings. Zeno's appearance contradicts his power completely. He stands very short and small. His body seems childlike with a large round head. His face carries purple and blue stripes. His eyes appear blank and expressionless most times. He wears colorful clothing, decorated with symbols, meaning all or everything. Nothing about his design suggests cosmic power. He looks more like a cartoon character than supreme deity. This visual disconnect makes Zeno simultaneously adorable and terrifying. Viewers see a cute child who commands absolute destruction. His personality matches his appearance. Zeno behaves exactly like a young child. He gets excited easily, especially about fighting and tournaments. He finds entertainment value in competitions. His attention span seems limited. Boredom strikes him quickly. He plays games constantly. One game involved tossing planets around like toys. The planets contained billions of lives. They crashed together and shattered. Zeno and his counterpart found this amusing. They destroyed at least 101 planets this way. Whether those planets had civilizations remains unknown. The game mattered more than potential casualties. Zeno's speech patterns reinforce his childlike nature. He talks simply using basic vocabulary. When erasing Universe 9 during the Tournament of Power, he said bye-bye in a joking tone. After Universe 3 vanished, he made squishing sounds, playfully. These moments demonstrate his inability to comprehend consequences. Trillions of beings ceased existing. Zeno treated it like ending a video game. He shows genuine confusion when others react with horror to erasure. After Universe 9 disappeared, everyone stopped fighting briefly. Both Zenos wondered why. They could not understand the fear and grief their action caused. Despite his childish demeanor, Zeno wields the most powerful ability in Dragon Ball. His technique, called Erase, removes anything from existence instantly. He charges twin blue spheres of energy in his hands. Then everything targeted simply stops being. No defense works against erasure, no power level matters, immortality offers no protection, even beings granted eternal life by Super Dragon Balls vanish. Infinite Zamasu possessed immortality and became one with the universe. Future Zeno erased him completely along with the entire timeline. The technique bypasses all conventional rules. Erasure works differently than normal destruction. When someone dies in Dragon Ball, they go to the afterlife. Their soul continues existing. King Yema judges them. They might train with King Kai or inhabit Otherworld. Eventually, Dragon Balls can revive them. Erasure ignores all this. Erased beings leave no soul. No afterlife awaits them. No trace remains anywhere. They never existed after erasure occurs. Only Super Shenron can undo Zeno's erasure. The Super Dragon Balls represent the sole exception to erasure's permanence. This makes Super Shenron possibly the only being whose power rivals or exceeds Zeno's. The scope of erasure varies based on Zeno's intent. He can erase single individuals, like when Frost tried attacking from outside the Tournament of Power ring. Zeno erased just Frost instantly. He can erase entire universes. Future Zeno erased all 12 universes in his timeline simultaneously. The manga suggests he can erase complete timelines, removing even the time ring representing that reality. Erasure speed also varies. Sometimes victims freeze and flash out instantly. Other times they have moments to speak final words. When erasing Infinite Zamasu, the process appeared painful. Zamasu screamed in agony throughout. This implies Zeno controls Erasure's pain level, possibly as punishment. Zeno cannot fight in traditional combat. He lacks martial arts training. No evidence suggests he possesses fighting techniques. Whis explicitly states Zeno's supremacy does not stem from fighting strength. His power exists purely in erasure ability. If someone challenged Zeno to actual combat, he would likely lose quickly. However, this limitation means nothing practically. Zeno never needs to fight. His erasure eliminates any threat before combat begins. Additionally, the Grand Minister guards and all angels would protect him. Every god of destruction would defend him. Nobody would dare attack anyway. Fear alone prevents any aggression towards Zeno. The Grand Minister serves as Zeno's primary attendant. He ranks as the strongest angel, making him among the most powerful fighters in existence. He manages divine affairs and advises Zeno. 2 guards constantly accompany Zeno wherever he goes. They dress identically and stand beside him always. Beyond these 3, Zeno appears relatively isolated. His palace exists in its own space above all 12 universes. Few ever visit. Most beings never even meet Zeno. Those who do approach with extreme caution. This creates profound loneliness. Zeno's isolation explains his immediate friendship with Goku. When they first met, Goku treated Zeno casually. He shook hands energetically. He spoke plainly without formality. Goku even lifted Zeno during their handshake. Beerus and the Supreme Kai reacted with horror. Nobody touches Zeno. Nobody addresses him informally. Yet Zeno loved it. Goku's childlike innocence matched Zeno's own personality. Goku gets excited easily. He loves fighting and competition. He approaches life with naive optimism. These traits resonated with Zeno immediately. Zeno asked Goku to become his friend. He requested Goku use a nickname, calling him Zeni or Zen-chan. He gave Goku a special button. Pressing it summons Zeno instantly, regardless of location or distance. This demonstrates extraordinary trust. Zeno wanted genuine friendship desperately. Everyone else fears him. Subjects bow and scrape constantly. Guards serve dutifully but distantly. The Grand Minister treats him as royalty, not companion. Physical contact never happens. Goku's friendly casualness filled a void Zeno experienced for millions of years. The button saved Goku's life, proving the friendship's value. When battling Goku Black and Zamasu in future Trunks' timeline, the situation became hopeless. Zamasu achieved immortality through Super Dragon Balls. Goku Black merged with him, creating an unstoppable fusion. The fusion began merging with the universe itself. Reality warped around them. Goku pressed Zeno's button. Future Zeno appeared instantly. He assessed the corrupted timeline. Then he erased everything. The entire universe vanished. Infinite Zamasu screamed as erasure consumed him. Only those not native to that timeline survived by being elsewhere. Goku found future Zeno floating in an empty void afterward. The entire multiverse had been erased, leaving only Zeno. Goku brought future Zeno to the present timeline. He introduced the 2 Zenos, suggesting they become friends. Both Zenos delighted at this. They finally had someone who truly understood them, another being existing at their level. From that point forward, 2 Zenos ruled the multiverse jointly. They make decisions together, they attend events together, they play games together. This companionship made both happier than ever before. The Tournament of Power emerged from Zeno's desire for entertainment. After watching the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament, Zeno loved the competition. He demanded more. Goku reminded him of this wish later. Both Zenos agreed enthusiastically. They decided to organize a tournament involving all universes. The Grand Minister arranged everything under their direction. However, the tournament came with dire stakes. All losing universes would face complete erasure. 8 universes participated in the Tournament of Power. 4 universes had high enough mortal levels exempting them from competition. These exempt universes contained sufficiently advanced and moral civilizations. The remaining 8 universes needed to prove their worth. 10 warriors from each universe fought in the Null Realm. This special space existed outside normal reality. No time passed there. No gods intervened. Only warriors competed for survival. The last universe standing would be spared. All others faced erasure. The Zenos watched eagerly from above. They sat on thrones overlooking the arena. The Grand Minister stood beside them. They cheered when impressive techniques appeared. They gasped at dramatic moments. They applauded clever strategies. As universes lost all their fighters, erasure occurred immediately. Universe 9 fell first. The Zenos raised their hands. Blue energy surrounded Universe 9's gods and spectators. They froze, flickered, and vanished. The entire universe ceased existing instantly, trillions of beings gone. The Xenos said, "Bye-bye," playfully afterward. This pattern repeated throughout the tournament. Universe 10, Universe 2, Universe 6, Universe 4, Universe 3, Universe 11. 7 universes erased during the tournament. Only Universe 7 remained victorious. The survivors watched in horror as universe after universe disappeared. Gods wept, knowing their entire reality ended. Mortals screamed as erasure approached. The Xenos watched with childish excitement. They could not comprehend why fighters stopped battling after each erasure. Death meant nothing to them. Existence or non-existence seemed equally trivial. However, the Grand Minister later revealed important information. Zeno had planned the tournament as a test. He wanted to see whether the winning universe contained virtue. If the victor wished selfishly, using the Super Dragon Ball Zeno would have erased all existence. Every universe, including the exempt ones, would vanish. This would prove even the winner lacked worth. The multiverse deserved destruction if selfishness prevailed. Fortunately, Android 17 wished for all erased universes' restoration. His selfless act satisfied Zeno's test. Super Shenron restored everything instantly. This reveals a crucial aspect of the Zeno Paradox. Despite childlike behavior, Zeno possesses some wisdom. He recognized virtue when displayed. He rewarded selflessness. He punished selfishness. The test suggests he understands morality conceptually. Yet, his casual erasure of trillions seems completely amoral. Perhaps he views mortal life as insignificant. Perhaps he cannot grasp individual suffering. Or perhaps his childlike mind simply lacks adult perspective on consequences. Whatever the reason, the contradiction persists. Zeno shows flexibility sometimes. He changes rules when entertained. During the Tournament of Power, competitors used techniques technically against regulations. The evil containment wave should have violated rules. Using Potara earrings broke fighter limits. Zeno permitted these because they increased entertainment value. However, he maintains hard limits too. When Frost attacked from outside the ring, Zeno erased him instantly. He threatened Universe 6 with complete erasure if rules broke again. This demonstrates his capricious nature. Rules matter or not, depending on his mood. The multiverse exists purely for Zeno's entertainment. He already proved this by destroying 6 universes over boredom or bad mood. He considered erasing more before the Tournament of Power. Managing 12 universes felt like too much work. The tournament provided solution and entertainment simultaneously. Only 8 universes' virtuous display prevented further erasure. This means countless lives depend entirely on keeping Zeno amused and satisfied. Gods scramble to please him. Events organize around his interests. Everything exists at his whim. This creates existential horror underlying Dragon Ball Super. No amount of training matters ultimately. Goku might achieve Ultra Instinct. Vegeta might surpass gods. Jiren might be the strongest mortal. None of it means anything if Zeno gets bored or upset. He can erase everything instantly. No defense exists, no appeal works, no bargaining happens. His word remains absolute. His power transcends all other powers infinitely. Yet, paradoxically, he is the most innocent character. He holds no malice. He intends no evil. His erasures stem from childish whims, not villainy. He genuinely wants friendship and fun. He treats Goku warmly. He gets excited about tournaments. He plays games with his counterpart. His actions cause unimaginable suffering, yet he comprehends none of it. This makes him neither hero nor villain. He simply exists as force of nature. A cosmic child playing with reality itself. The Zeno Paradox encapsulates this contradiction perfectly. Absolute power wielded with absolute innocence. Ultimate authority exercised with childlike whimsy. The fate of infinite lives determined by momentary moods. The multiverse persists not through justice or purpose, but through entertainment value. Zeno can erase entire universes instantly, bypassing life, death, time, and even afterlife realms. His power is absolute, unquestionable, and terrifying. But his childlike mind means the multiverse exists purely because he is entertained by it. The moment he becomes bored or upset or simply decides there are too many universes, everything could vanish instantly forever. This represents the ultimate subversion of typical power hierarchies in fiction. Usually the strongest being possesses wisdom or purpose justifying their power. Zeno has neither. He is simply powerful. His existence reminds everyone that all their struggles, achievements, and relationships exist only because a cosmic child permits them. Tomorrow he might erase everything, or he might not. Nobody can predict or prevent his decisions. They can only hope to keep entertaining him. The Zeno Paradox makes every moment precious, because every moment exists at the whim of someone who understands nothing about mortality, consequence, or loss. That terrifying truth defines existence in Dragon Ball Super's multiverse. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying this breakdown. Next up, Broly's canon power. Broly's canon power. Broly existed outside Dragon Ball's main story for 25 years. He appeared only in non-canon movies. Fans loved him despite his exclusion from official continuity. His popularity never faded. Eventually, that popularity convinced Akira Toriyama's editor to suggest bringing Broly back. Toriyama watched the old Broly movies. He had drawn the original character designs but barely remembered them. After watching, he decided Broly could work if rearranged properly. Toriyama wrote an entirely new story. He kept Broly's iconic appearance but changed everything else. This became Dragon Ball Super Broly, released in 2018. Toriyama explicitly stated this version represented his attempt to add Broly into the Dragon Ball canon. The film made Broly officially part of continuity. The canon Broly differs dramatically from his movie trilogy counterpart. The original Broly was a sadistic villain driven by hatred toward Goku. He loved destruction. He existed purely as an unstoppable monster. Canon Broly is kind-hearted and confused. He lived isolated on planet Vampa his entire life. His father Paragus raised him there after King Vegeta exiled them. Broly made friends with a creature named Ba. When Paragus shot Ba, Broly kept the severed ear, wearing it as a green pelt. This showed his gentle nature. Broly does not want to kill. He fights only when forced. This complete personality overhaul made him sympathetic, rather than purely villainous. However, both versions share one crucial trait: incredible, overwhelming power. Canon Broly possesses strength that shocked even gods of destruction. His power level at birth exceeded Prince Vegeta's. King Vegeta feared this infant would threaten the universe eventually. This fear drove the king to exile Broly despite him being just a baby. That decision saved Broly's life when Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta. Broly and Paragus survived on Vampa. The harsh planet forced Broly to fight dangerous creatures constantly. He trained under his father for 43 years, yet his training remained limited. Paragus was weak. Broly never faced truly strong opponents. This left his incredible potential mostly untapped. When Chilai and Lemmo rescued Broly and Paragus, they brought them to Frieza. Frieza sensed Broly's immense latent potential immediately. He tested Broly by ordering him to fight Goku and Vegeta on Earth. This battle revealed Broly's true nature. His strength does not come solely from raw power. His most dangerous ability is limitless adaptation. Broly grows stronger during battle. The longer he fights, the more powerful he becomes. This adaptation occurs exponentially. Small increases compound rapidly into massive power jumps. Vegeta noted Broly showed shocking development as the fight continued. This reactive evolution makes Broly uniquely terrifying. The battle demonstrated this growth perfectly. Initially, Vegeta fought Broly in base forms. Vegeta outmatched Broly completely. Superior combat skills gave Vegeta easy advantage. Broly lacked formal training. He relied on crude, straightforward attacks. Vegeta countered everything effortlessly. However, Broly rapidly adjusted. Within minutes, he neutralized Vegeta's advantage. His power increased, matching Vegeta's base form. This forced Vegeta to transform into Super Saiyan. The transformation should have ended the fight quickly. Instead, Broly continued adapting. Despite Vegeta's Super Saiyan power, Broly's strength remained above him. His power level, influenced by emotions, kept rising. Goku joined the battle next. He fought Broly in base form initially. Broly held his own, demonstrating his accelerated growth. Goku transformed into Super Saiyan. Still, Broly competed effectively. Then Broly entered his wrathful state. This unique form taps into Grade 8 power without actually transforming. His eyes turn yellow. His muscle mass increases dramatically. His aura becomes greenish. Power surges through him exponentially. In wrathful form, Broly matched Super Saiyan God Goku. This represented an astronomical leap in power occurring within minutes of combat. The mechanics behind Broly's growth involve advanced Saiyan genetics. All Saiyans possess Saiyan power. This genetic trait lets Saiyans grow stronger through battle. Near-death experiences trigger massive power increases called Zenkai boosts. However, Broly's Saiyan power is considerably more advanced than normal Saiyans. Vegeta explicitly observed Broly's sudden development surpassed normal Saiyan growth. Broly essentially has Zenkai boosts occurring constantly during combat without needing near death. Every exchange, every hit, every technique pushes his power higher. His body instinctively adapts, becoming tougher against attacks. Techniques that hurt him initially soon fail to damage him at all. Broly also learns techniques instantly. He saw Goku use instant transmission once. Immediately afterward, Broly teleported using the same technique. Goku used Godbind to restrain Broly with Ki. Broly broke free by overflowing his own Ki, then used Godbind on Goku himself. He learned a godly technique while being restrained by it. This instant learning extends to combat patterns. Despite crude initial fighting style, Broly refined his movements constantly. Master combatants like Goku and Vegeta initially countered him easily. Within minutes, Broly showed refined instincts and combat skill matching theirs. His prodigious talent combined with Saiyan traits created unstoppable adaptation. Goku escalated to Super Saiyan Blue. This represented divine power far beyond anything Broly faced before. Initially, Super Saiyan Blue Goku dominated. He landed clean hits, overwhelming Broly. However, this advantage lasted mere moments. Broly's rage intensified, triggering transformation into Super Saiyan. His hair turned green rather than golden. This represented the legendary Super Saiyan form appearing once every 1,000 years. Super Saiyan Broly immediately overpowered Super Saiyan Blue Goku. The gap that existed moments earlier reversed completely. Broly's power surpassed Goku's godly transformation. This occurred roughly 1 hour after Broly first fought Vegeta in base form. The speed of growth staggers belief. Broly started weaker than base Vegeta. Within approximately 1 hour, he surpassed Super Saiyan Blue. That represents power increase beyond comprehension. Estimates suggest millions of times stronger. Some calculations put the multiplier over 1 million times his starting power. This occurred through pure battle adaptation without training or external boosts. Simply fighting strong opponents triggered exponential growth. Goku himself acknowledged this, comparing Broly's strength possibly to Beerus, the god of destruction. Such comparison places Broly among the absolute strongest beings in Universe 7. Broly's growth rate depends on opponent strength. Fighting Frieza afterward produced minimal growth. Frieza, while powerful, did not push Broly further. Broly pummeled Frieza for an hour straight. His power barely increased during this time. He stopped attacking once. Frieza posed no threat. However, when Gogeta appeared, Broly's growth resumed immediately. Base Gogeta proved stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Fighting this fusion pushed Broly harder. His strength increased rapidly again. Super Saiyan Gogeta forced Broly to full power. His muscles bulged larger. His hair turned completely green. He grew to 3 meters tall. This full power Super Saiyan form represented Broly's maximum output. Yet even full power Super Saiyan Broly could not match Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. The fusion's power exceeded Broly's growth rate. Gogeta dominated completely. He landed devastating combinations. His attacks tore through Broly's defenses. The power clash between them literally cracked reality. Their battle broke through dimensional barriers, sending them into another dimension temporarily. This demonstrated the sheer scale of power involved. Both fighters operated at levels threatening space-time stability itself. Despite this, Gogeta clearly held advantage. He prepared a final limit Ultra Kamehameha to finish Broly. Only Chi-Li's wish using the Dragon Balls saved Broly by teleporting him to Vampa. Broly's personality affects his power significantly. His kind heart prevents him fighting to kill. He holds back instinctively. His rage and emotions fuel his transformations but also cloud his mind. In full power form, Broly loses rational thought. He becomes purely instinctual, attacking indiscriminately. This lack of control limits his effectiveness. Trained fighters like Gogeta exploit this weakness. Broly's crude brawling style, while powerful, lacks refinement. If Broly learned to fight with clear mind, his power would increase further. Control would let him access his strength without losing himself. The film established Broly as potentially the strongest mortal in Universe 7. Goku stated Broly might be stronger than Beerus. While speculative, this comparison reveals how seriously Goku views Broly's power. Few beings earn comparison to gods of destruction. Broly achieved this through natural talent alone. He never trained with angels. He never learned godly techniques formally. He simply possesses abnormal Saiyan genetics granting limitless potential. Toriyama described him in promotional material as an incredibly strong Saiyan. He called him the Almighty Saiyan. These descriptions emphasize Broly's exceptional nature. Later appearances showed Broly training with Goku and Vegeta. The manga depicts this training on Beerus' planet. Broly learns to control his Super Saiyan form. Gohan's beast transformation provided the breakthrough. Seeing Gohan's controlled power helped Broly understand balance. He can now transform without losing himself completely. This development makes Broly exponentially more dangerous. Controlled power combined with his adaptive ability creates an unstoppable warrior. Current manga shows Broly sparring with Gohan regularly. He continues growing stronger daily through training. Broly represents a unique power type in Dragon Ball. Most characters achieve strength through training transformations or divine intervention. Broly needs none of these. His strength emerges naturally through combat itself. Fighting makes him stronger not just through experience but through actual measurable power increases happening in real time. This makes him fundamentally different from Goku and Vegeta. They must train extensively for gradual improvements. Broly improves exponentially during single battles. His ceiling appears non-existent. Given enough time fighting strong opponents, Broly could surpass anyone. This limitless adaptation comes with drawbacks. Broly lacks combat experience. 43 years on Vampa taught survival, not refined combat technique. Master fighters exploit his crude style easily initially. His emotional instability creates vulnerability. Rage fuels his power but clouds judgment. Control Collar Paragus used suppressed this rage for years. Without it, Broly struggles managing his emotions. These weaknesses prevent him from fully utilizing his astronomical power. However, both weaknesses diminish with training. As Broly gains experience and emotional control, his true potential emerges. The concept of legendary Super Saiyan adds mystique to Broly's power. This form appears once every 1,000 years, according to legend. Previous legendary Super Saiyans achieved incredible, destructive feats. King Vegeta knew the legend well enough to fear infant Broly. The transformation differs from normal Super Saiyan. Hair turns green instead of gold, muscle mass increases dramatically. Power output exceeds standard Super Saiyan forms significantly. The form also grants seemingly unlimited stamina. Broly fought for hours without tiring. His energy never depleted despite constant high-output combat. Toriyama's involvement legitimized Broly completely. As series creator, Toriyama's direct participation made this version definitively canon. He wrote the screenplay personally. He designed the characters, including Broly's new backstory. This distinguished Dragon Ball Super Broly from all previous films. Most Dragon Ball movies exist outside continuity. Dragon Ball Super Broly integrated seamlessly into the main timeline. Events occur after the Tournament of Power. References to Universe 6 and previous arcs establish clear placement. Broly's continued appearances in the manga cement his canon status permanently. The film's success spawned massive Broly popularity. He became more beloved than his original non-canon iteration. Fans embraced the sympathetic portrayal. His relationships with Chilai and Lemo added depth. Goku befriending Broly at the film's end provided hope for future redemption. Goku told Broly to call him Kakarot, his Saiyan birth name. This gesture showed respect and understanding. Goku recognizes Broly as fellow Saiyan, not enemy. He wants to train with Broly, helping him control his power. This relationship promises future development for Broly's character. Broly's canon power fundamentally changes Dragon Ball's power hierarchy. Previously, Goku and Vegeta stood atop mortal fighters. Gods and angels exceeded them, but no mortals matched their level. Broly shattered this assumption. A Saiyan with no formal training rivals or exceeds their godly power. His natural mutation grants abilities surpassing earned strength. This creates new narrative possibilities. Broly represents untapped potential that could surpass even Ultra Instinct or Ultra Ego, given proper training. His mere existence raises everyone's ceiling. The Dragon Ball Super Broly film made him fully canon. His strength comes from limitless adaptation. The longer he fights, the stronger he becomes. Toriyama described him as a natural mutant Saiyan with exponential potential. These qualities combine, creating perhaps the most naturally gifted fighter in Dragon Ball history. Broly's journey from exiled infant to universe-threatening warrior to Goku's training partner demonstrates the new direction canon Broly takes. He is no longer a mindless monster. He is a tragic figure with incredible power, seeking control and purpose. His exponential growth during combat makes him uniquely dangerous. Given time and training, Broly might become the strongest Saiyan in existence. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.